This episode of Computer Clan Live is brought to you by Mac Yak. Oh my gosh, guys, these guys are fun. They are a Mac and Apple-centric live webcast. I've been on the show a few times too. These guys are a lot of fun. Check out more of their episodes and live streams at mac-yak.com or youtube.com/macyak. We'll be talking about these guys a little more later today. But right now, hey guys, how you all doing? Really, that's just great. You know, I'm doing pretty great today too because we're still all in quarantine, right? So like nothing really has changed. But hey, we're doing Computer Clan Live again. This is our second episode of this new format of all this great new stuff. If you didn't catch the last episode, I was live with the Apple, the legendary Apple like analyst Rene Ritchie, arguably legendary, right? You know, I'm sure some people will disagree, but I don't disagree. The guy's awesome. Go ahead and check that out if you want to see us talk about tech and apparently Canadian history. And I learned a lot of stuff about like Canadian swear words and stuff. That was a really fun episode. So, pardon the coughing. I'm still recovering from all this crap that I've been dealing with in my body. So if I cough a few times, I'm terribly sorry. But enough gab. Let's get on with the show. Tonight, I am joined by Jack, the designer of the upcoming RPG title, Torches of Fate, an indie game. And oh my gosh, I'm all for indie games. I love supporting indie artists. So this is awesome. Jack, thank you for being on the show tonight.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Absolutely. So guys, we're going to have some fun tonight. We'll talk about not only the game and like what Jack does and like the inspiration and all that stuff, but we're actually gonna later in the show give you like a sneak peek at the developer environment. He's gonna do some screen sharing and he's gonna show you kind of the behind the scenes of what he does to build the RPG. So we're gonna give you a nice peek behind the curtain, if you will. So stick around for that. And it is bound to be a very fun time. So, Jack, Torches of Fate. First of all, what was like the inspiration behind you wanting to do such a project?
Well, the inspiration behind doing Torches of Fate was at a young age, I wanted to always make video games. I actually got teased by my cousins and some classmates that was about the only thing on my brain when I was like around 13.
Of course.
What really helped the jump from like, because a lot of people I feel like talk about making a game. Like everybody's got the idea for the next big thing.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to actually going out and doing it. I think the big thing for me that made a big change was I played Dungeons and Dragons because my father taught me since a very young age. I started reading his books at like when I was 6 years old, and I actually started dungeon mastering at 10. So being able to create these worlds and present them to people at such a young age gave me the confidence of like, okay, I'm talking about making a game. Why don't I actually do it?
Right. No, that's totally cool that you actually pursued it because, it's the same thing with like YouTubing. Like people come to me about like YouTube stuff all the time. Like, hey, I got this idea, I got this. But like hardly anyone I talk to ever actually does it. So I appreciate that you actually, took the bull by the horns and actually made something. When did you start this? Because it looks like it's coming along pretty nicely. How long has it been going on?
It's been going on for roughly 2.5, 3 years.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's been a process between juggling because, indie work, there's people you have to commission out if you need help and you need to sublease it. So I still need to bring in money. So I still work a full-time job on top of doing this.
Right. I feel you there. So yeah, definitely outsourcing stuff. I've had to do that a few times too. Was that your kitty?
Yes, yeah, he wants attention because I started talking.
Oh, of course. That's the nature of cats. They like attention.
They like attention.
So outsourcing stuff aside, like how big is the developer team?
The essential development team is at its core mainly 4 to 5 people. Myself being the head game designer, Lumoth, he is our big composer. Cookie's Art, she is pretty much the main graphical artist. And then we have somebody on our marketing team who helps get the word out and stuff.
Yeah, for those who are curious, if anyone was around back when we did our live show like years ago, United Wave was the guy that would always come onto our gaming servers and just like slaughter us because he's just naturally good at gaming. I don't know how the hell he does it. But,
I don't know either. I don't really know.
If anybody's wondering, that's that guy. Actually, United Wave is how I found out about Jack here, and I'm like, oh, this is freaking awesome. But yeah, United Wave is he's doing your marketing stuff. That's good.
Essentially, yeah.
Cool.
He's our main marketing person.
Sweet.
And then we also have Biss as a pixel artist. So The cut scenes of Torches of Fate actually take inspiration from Phantasy Star 4. So that is a very obscure Sega Genesis RPG, if you know what that is. But the cutscenes at that time, because we're talking 16-bit Genesis era, were like manga style panels and stuff. So that's what Cookie has done.
Ooh.
She's did that. She's drawn the portraits. So important characters, and like many RPGs, when they're speaking, they appear in the game. When we get more into the demo, I can show you guys that. So she's done that. But Biss is our pixel artist. He has converted a lot of the things into the more 16-bit pixel art style that
Oh yeah.
those turn-based RPGs are known for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. So I excuse me, I do wish I actually had like the music on standby to listen to like during the stream a little bit. I didn't even really think about that, but I guess that gives everyone else something else to look forward to. But I'm all for good composition and stuff like that as a fellow musician. That is cool.
I personally love loose stuff, so I think it'll be great when you guys hear it.
Sweet. So everyone is coming into the chat. Oh, hey, Murations is in the chat. I believe they are a fellow RPG developer as well. So Murations, thank you for coming out. If that's the same Murations that I'm thinking about, unless you're an imposter. Adventure Blocks, Polsky. Oh gosh, don't make me say it. Mo, I'm just gonna say your first name. I'm not gonna say Lester. Dang it, I said Mo Lester. Why is that your username?
To get you to say it out loud, obviously.
Apparently, yes. I do appreciate everyone coming in the chat. So, guys, if you ever have any questions or just anything you want to ask Jack, just let me know in the live chat room. I will do my best to send those questions his way. There's a lot of stuff, scrolling by and popping up on my screen all at once. So I'll do my best to catch those questions. But don't worry, we'll have a dedicated Q&A section at the end, just in case we miss anything. So no worries about that. So I know it can be tough balancing full-time jobs with like the craft you want to do. How do you do it though? Like what's your, I don't want to say coping mechanism, but how do you balance it?
It's honestly, it took a while to balance it out properly, because it's the hardest thing is, you go into work and you want to come out. You're like, all right, I want to work on the thing that I'm working on. But you have to be careful with that, because you go to work, if you're working in a factory setting like I did, you're physically tired, and that does more to you mentally as well. And it does take a toll on the work that you do.
Absolutely.
So a lot of the early dungeons I did, like for Torches of Fate, I wasn't extremely proud of. They were not good. And when we get to the screen sharing, I can actually show you a comparison of an earlier dungeon compared to a later one. Why it's important to keep that mentality of keeping that stuff separate.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the biggest struggle hasn't been so much work and Torches of Fate, more so keeping up with personal relationships. Because usually that time where people are going out to hang out with friends
Yeah.
or play gaming, it's essentially gone to Torches of Fate. Now that I'm getting closer to the end, it's been a bit easier. But when I was first working on it, it was extremely hard to juggle.
Yep. I totally agree with you there. You said you've been working on it for like, what, 3 years now?
Yeah, 2.5, 3 years.
2.5, 3 years. What was, where does the... Actually, I don't want to ask where the name comes from yet. I would hold on to that. How about we do this first? How about you give us like a brief synopsis on what this is about? What's the game about?
The brief synopsis of Torches of Fate is you essentially, the game starts out, we actually have when it gets posted, we do have a lovely rendering of voice actress reading out a basic synopsis of the game when it starts out. One of the main characters, Ramona, is talking about how the land of Alka is dealing with a monster outbreak. And with this monster outbreak getting worse, our four main cast characters, Dimitri, Ramona, Engor, and Riley, all have various little goals of why they end up wanting to deal with the monster outbreak. Then they go investigate, see what the cause of it is, see if they can stop it. That's the basic plot. Obviously, like most good stories go, it evolves from there, but that's how things get started.
Yeah. I mean, I've been asked this too, because like when I work on stories and stuff like that, people ask to give a synopsis, and I'm just kind of like, shoot, I don't really have like a finalized synopsis yet. Like I'm still working on it. And like, I think like when you're writing a book, for example, the title is probably the last thing you really should think of. And some people do it ahead of time. But the title, though, Torches of Fate, did that come like at the beginning? Or is that something that came up like near the end of the development process?
It actually came towards the middle, to be
Oh, okay.
honest. I know that was neither one of them, but it's essentially
Just
what
shit
happened.
all over my question, will ya? No, it's fine. Middle makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
The reason it came about actually was when I was writing out the idea of the story. The Torches of Fate actually themselves do have a plot point that I can't get into because spoiler reasons, but I do needed something with that. And so when I was thinking of ideas, there's a lot of symbolism of like a flame being birthed anew. I
Hmm.
kind of was like essentially that, and I was just going with ideas of like fire and that, and I just kind of went through the list, and I'm like, Torches of Fate, it's got a nice ring to it. Let's go with it.
I've noticed, and I don't know if this is like I guess it is a common thing. It's just what I noticed. A lot of like fantasy genres typically have like a noun, and then like a is of a preposition. I gotta go back to English class. They have like a noun, a preposition, noun, like torches of fate, goblet of fire. That just kind of fits. I think it
It
works well.
does, yeah. No, now that I think about it, it's a lot. Breath of Fire, fan, yeah.
We got some questions coming through. This one might be a little ridiculous, but rendered clovered asks, "Why is your hair red?"
My hair, is it really red? I'm assuming it's the lighting. I have like brown
I was
hair.
gonna say it's probably
Uh,
the lighting.
yeah, I don't exactly have studio lighting in here. I'm in my apartment,
Oh
so
sure.
I'm sure the colors aren't all exactly. And I mean, if I had red hair, I mean, either because one, it's cool, or two, because I'm born a ginger, and that's just not fair. And you being mean to me like that. So I guess those would be
Oh,
my two answers to that if that was the case.
oh man.
I did have purple hair in college, though. That was a interesting story.
Oh, purple hair, cool. That we may have to save that for a like a after show Q&A kind of
Oh, for
story.
sure.
Stick around for the purple hair story. So another question came through from 27 Amzy. Hey, 27 Amzy, thanks for joining. By the way, he asked, "What engine/language is Torches of Fate made in?"
The primary engine Torches of Fate is made in is the RPG Maker software, which runs on JavaScript.
Mhm.
Reason being, I'm going to transition to this because I'm sure it's a why use RPG Maker, because I know along the development community it doesn't have the best reputation at times because it's a simple to use tool, so there is shovelware made with the software, but software is what you use with it. I personally like it because I went into making like I want to make an RPG. There's a lot of native tools that it gave to me with, like I said earlier, I'm working full time. Coding all these new systems would have just been redundant. So
Mhm.
that's why I personally use it. I mean, you can make great stuff, even stuff software that's not considered great. Like I've seen artists who, with a mouse and keyboard and MS Paint, produce some amazing ass stuff. I'm not comparing RPG Maker to MS Paint, mind you. It's just best example that comes to my mind. But and then also with JavaScript, that's a nice little tool to get. It's a nice little language. It was easy for me to pick up and update with. So that's why I chose all. It just all seemed to work together when I decided to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I say like to everyone, it's not the tools you use, it's how you use the tools. So like, I don't think there's a problem with that at all. I've seen plenty of people use RPG Maker for stuff. Hell, I think someone I collaborated with like years ago made like a little RPG Maker that we like we put a trailer on our YouTube channel and like put it up for download and like years ago. I think he did it all in RPG Maker. Yeah. But yeah, you also think about it like freaking Five Nights at Freddy's. That was done in Click Team Fusion, and like it kind of has the illusion of a 3D game, but it's all just pre-composed images into a freaking like point and click kind of. It's not a point and click adventure, but it kind of is.
But
Yeah.
essentially, I mean, another good example, another very, very popular RPG made with another engine of that people question, Undertale. It was
Yep.
made with Game Maker.
Oh
Again,
shit.
people laugh at Game Maker like, it doesn't make stuff. It's like Undertale is like one of the best selling RPG. It just depends on if people like your story, if you have decent gameplay. Just all these things have got to come together if you want to make a good game,
I
which I personally think I have.
I no, that's amazing. I'm glad you see it that way because I think that's how it should be perceived as. It doesn't matter what freaking tools they use to make the game, for crying out loud. But I did not know I did not know Toby Fox used Game Maker for Undertale. Holy crap.
Right?
Wow.
When I was told that, I was like, really?
I think that's like inspiring in a way. I think it's anything with like the word maker in the name just kind of has like a bad stigma to it. I blame Microsoft for Movie Maker. So you hear Game Maker and RPG Maker and people just go, But honestly, those tools are really good. I used to use Game Maker all the time. I used to make like HTML5 games and stuff, back when I did that. But yeah,
Right.
it's good stuff. Yeah. So I'm just gonna pull up the chat room here, just see if there's any other questions going on here. Actually, Murations asked something that I was thinking. Which version of RPG Maker did you use? They are currently using, this is Murations talking, I'm currently using MV. Also, how did you polish, well, they said, how did you polish your story ideas? I think they meant, actually, I think that's polish. I don't know how to read English anymore, guys. I'm done. I don't know how to English. I think you actually spelt it right, and I'm just stupid. Yeah, okay, so how'd you polish the story ideas, and what version are you using?
I am using MV as well. I know some people prefer VX, but I honestly like MV. I think a lot of more tools are a lot more user friendly. And how I polish the story ideas is, as I said earlier in the show, I was a dungeon master, still am a dungeon master in Dungeons and Dragons for a long time. So I was at a very young age, became adept at giving stories to people, being able to take feedback and stuff. I got a lot of negative criticism when I'm younger because when I was like 12 years old, I was DMing for high schoolers, and kids are not nice, especially in high school, especially younger kids. So, and it just so after writing stories for so long, I just ended up refining just through that process of playing those games with people. I knew what ideas were like. These group of people didn't like these ideas. They did like these ideas. So just having that experience and being able, and I mean, it doesn't even have to be Dungeons and Dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Just sharing, like if you're a writer, a game designer, bringing up some friends, talking your story over, getting some constructive criticism. That is the key thing. I know a lot of people don't like hearing bad things that they got wrong because they just want to have the best thing ever. But constructive criticism can do great because it can help you realize what you can improve on and make an overall better product.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I feel like something's missing if I run something by somebody and they have nothing, like no criticism. I'm like, come on, there's got to be something that sucks. So,
right. There's got to be something that's off.
Right. No, I totally agree. It's all about, dude, it's been one thing I've struggled with, rejection, criticism. I get it. I battle with it every day. But yeah, to everyone listening, that's a super healthy thing. If you want your video, your game, whatever you're working on to be better, you gotta, it's gonna receive criticism. You gotta like run it through the paces of getting stuff shot down. Stuff's gonna get erased. Stuff's gonna get redone. That's why there's focus groups. I'm not saying you have to go like full focus group, but look at, if you research how movies are done and shit, and like, oh my gosh, they do focus groups, they do rewrites. It's crazy stuff. Cool. Oh, did you have something else you wanted to say?
Yeah, the other thing I just wanted to add is like the other key thing is, because I know a lot of people sometimes take, for anybody who is taking this advice because I know a lot of people take extremes. While constructive criticism is good, you also have to be careful out there that there's some people who just will straight up not like what you're doing. It doesn't matter what it is, what their opinion of it actually is. They just don't like it, and you can't let that discourage you. Constructive criticism should lift you above and beyond. But just regular, I hate everything you're doing because reasons, you just got to kind of ignore that and filter that out.
Oh, totally.
Because we've actually had that with some of the earlier marketing that I did with Torches of Fate. I was about a year in development, and I was sharing some things. I got some constructive criticism, and then I got some other not helpful criticism.
No, yeah, the unhelpful stuff can just kind of piss off. I Suck the Swamp Gamer. Very catchy username, by the way. Just kidding.
Absolutely.
I Suck the Swamp Gamer said, hey, just curious, is anything being done about accessibility? Now, I'm not 100% sure what you're trying to ask. If you want to reframe the question a bit, we can maybe help you out. I don't know if he's asking, Jack, if there's like accessibility controls for like the game or something, but
it's
yep.
It's kind of vague. I mean, accessibility can mean a lot of things. Like,
totally.
Do you mean like accessibility towards other, like, people being able to play it, accessibility for disability controls, accessibility just for having custom keyboard bindings? Like, I mean, we do have custom keyboard bindings for controls on the game, but if it's any of the other stuff, we haven't really looked into it yet, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks like they actually did rephrased the question, and they said, "Hey, just curious, has anything been done about accessibility for screen readers like NVDA?" And to be honest, I have no idea what that even is. So unless you do, we'll have to move on. I'm sorry.
I actually, we will, because this is the first I've ever heard that question.
First, honestly though, I'm all for accessibility. A crap ton of my money last year went to the ALS Association, so I will be researching that because I am all for that. But I've never heard of it before, so that'll be for the future. Anyway, there was some more questions coming in, and again, guys, if you have other questions about the game for Jack, feel free to ask away. We'll get those answered. I'll even take some questions on too at the end of the stream, like way later, once everyone is toast. I will take the floor for like the 6 people who are here. Just kidding. Let's see what else is going on. Oh, the chat is scrolling quite a bit. Let me try to catch up here. What the crap? There was a good question, and I swear I scrolled by it and I don't see it, but man, I'm so sorry. That part was not well planned by me. All right, I missed it. Whatevs. Anyway, I'm just gonna check my notey notes here and see what's next. So soon, guys, what we can do, if y'all are cool with it, we can go into a little screen sharing. So Jack is actually gonna like pull up a screen sharing session and give you kind of a peek behind the curtain of the development that is. Unless there's any other questions anyone else wants to ask in the chat, go for it right now. If there's any other questions you want to ask before we move into the screen sharing part, I'll give you some time to ask those right now. And I know the video takes about 30 seconds to get from my mouth hole to your face, so I'm going to give you some time to write those questions. But then we will move on to the screen sharing portion. Anything else, though, you want to talk about in the meantime there, Jack? Just kill the 30 seconds of awkwardness as the signal travels through the internet.
So.
Yep. Go ahead. I just had a brain blast. I was like, I remember what I was gonna ask now, but you go first.
No, you go first, because I was just gonna keep just spitballing bullshit there. So please go ahead.
All right. For everyone who's curious, where, when the game is done, can they get it?
Yes, you can find it. Will be on Steam. The Steam store is actually. Sorry, I have a child biting at my hand. Now he's kicking the laptop. It will be up on the Steam store. If you go to Steam right now and you search Torches of Fate, you can find it. And it will be officially released in late May. So, but I mean, if you want to go to the Steam store, I can give you a link to that. I should have given you a link before we started this. But I can give you a link to that if you want to post it later for them to go find it. But I mean, if you also search Torches of Fate, it'll pop up immediately.
Yeah, I put the Game Jolt in the description, and I put I think the Twitter in there too. But yeah, I can share out the Steam link as well after this.
Yeah, and then you'll be able to download it once it comes out.
Sweet. Is it on mobile too? I thought I read somewhere it's going to be on mobile as well.
But that actually can trigger into a story. That's so fantastic.
Yes.
We were planning on a mobile release, but due to a lot of issues with mobile, and not even on the development side of thing, more so with sponsorships and stuff, and my own ethics, we ended up moving away completely from mobile release. The main thing would be the people that I were originally getting some publishing funds to help release it on mobile, they kept pushing microtransactions, and I don't like microtransactions. And it just got to the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I don't have the money or the time to do a mobile release like independently, so I would need funding. But with all these people, like everybody I went to would be like, oh, we got to have those microtransactions. Because of how post-game function works, they thought it'd be perfect for microtransactions. And if you have them in your game, whatever, I personally don't like them.
Sure. That actually was a perfect segue, because I remember someone in the chat earlier said, oh, I hope this isn't like all those other mobile games. And now I think we have confirmed that it's not. Well, it's not a mobile game, first of all, but even if it were to be, no microtransactions. So
no, none. And even if there's ever any DLC, nothing planned yet. We'll see how much people like it. I wouldn't charge anything for it. I personally believe once a game comes out, it's just the game. You get what you can. Mm-hmm. No day one paid for patches, because just not my style. Not my style.
Totally. All right. Well, I think if that's it for that part, we can transition into the screen sharing next, and you can kind of give people a little peek behind the curtain. What do you say?
Oh, absolutely. Let's
All
get it started.
right. So while Jack is getting ready to do all that, I just want to thank our sponsor for tonight, which is Macyak. Now, guys, Macyak, these guys are freaking awesome because, it's a tech talk show. It's a webcast. You can watch all the recordings on YouTube. I've actually been on the show a few times, and it's a lot of fun. And the Macyak crew has helped me countless times with Krazy Ken episodes. They've been in them, they've helped me write them, they've helped me research them. They've pointed out the stupid mistakes I made in the videos when I run a rough cut by them because I did this stupid thing wrong. They're smart. They're way smarter than me, and they have a good show. So basically, they're a team of Mac enthusiasts. They come together once a week in a very laid-back, casual chat, and they talk about everything Mac and Apple related. They discuss Apple hardware, Apple software, the culture, their past, present, and future, successes, failures, and everything from their great innovations to their frustrating flops. So tune into their YouTube channel at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time every Thursday night. 90 minutes every Thursday night at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern as they live stream, and they have a live chat room as well, so go ahead and chat with them during the stream. And one of my favorite parts of the show is they do a segment called What Were They Smoking? And it's primarily, they go through like eBay listings and stuff like that of people like selling these old computers, and they have no idea what they're talking about. They're either like $5,000 when it's maybe worth $100, or they have the description all wrong. It's called What Were They Smoking? It's a great segment they do on their live show, and I absolutely love it. If you liked what we did with the Knock It Off series back in the day, you'll love the What Were They Smoking segment on Macyak. There's links in the description. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and tune in every Thursday. All right. So thank you, Macyak, for sponsoring tonight. Let's switch over to the screen share here. I'm just going to refresh the Skype window, and we'll pull up the screen. And it should come up in a few seconds. There we go. And it's going to do a little shrinky-dink. And it's going to snap there. And there we go. Okay, Jack, you are good. So, we're in RPG Maker right now, yeah?
Yep, this is the basic screen of where you'll do all your work in RPG Maker if you decide to pick up the software ever.
Mm-hmm.
What's nice is just this pure customization of the software. So you can see over here, you get your pre-rendered tile sets. So you can, if you wanted to really quick make a house, you could just make a building, put a roof on it, and then put a wall on it, and there you go, quick house. It's really nice in that. And the nice thing is when you buy RPG Maker, they do come with assets, but you can fully go into and recreate your own assets. If you go here, and like I say, if you have an artist who does your tile sets for you, you can actually have them render out tile sets. There's tutorials on the site in order to how to save your tile sets properly, but then you can have whatever tile sets you want. I mean, this the milk bar tile set, some of the right here, some of these are 100% recreated by some of our pixel artists for the milk bar. Wonder if I can actually, if that map is still under construction or not.
Hey, do you mind if I pitch just a couple questions your way? Because I saw a few pop up in the chat.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Murations came and asked another question. They asked, how do you know when to expand the amount of people working on the project? And I know we talked earlier, like you have it was like 3 other people working with you, but you also outsource some stuff. So yeah, I hope we're understanding your question right, Murations. But yeah, how do you know when to expand the amount of people working on the project? I guess that means yeah.
Yeah, so when you decide to go from, working 100% on your own to start commissioning, to start having other people just generally commission out, it really comes down to your own personal, what you can handle. It's a hard conversation, but you have to have it with yourself. I personally would recommend looking at your strengths and weaknesses as a creative person if you do want to go in to hire some other people. So I am by no means an artist. If you would see some of the stuff I would draw, you would run scared. I have not the greatest art skills. But on that same retrospect, let me see if I can pull up something real quick here. Images. And then pictures. So, I can't draw, but I have somebody who can, so they can draw me stuff like it's loading up. You get to see a little cutscene too as a little preview as soon
Ew.
as it sets to load. I can't draw, but of course you're going to take like 17 years to load,
Oh
aren't you?
no.
There we go. I can't draw, but my artist Cookies Art does
Oh.
fantastic work. I
Oh
couldn't even do
shit.
that if I tried.
What? Yeah, that is. Dude, I'm the same way. Like, people ask me, like, who drew, like, your YouTube art? And I'm like, it wasn't me.
It's like I can assure you it wasn't me. That's by golly.
But
So it's a combination of that. Like if the stuff that you can do, but if you feel like you're lacking in an area, even if you can't hire somebody onto your squad, there's plenty of artists and people who are out there looking for a chance. You can commission and then maybe commission them out and get work done. It's and I realized about like 2 months in I'd have to hire help. Like it did
right.
not take me long. But my logic with Torches of Fate was, if I'm going to develop a game because it's my dream, I want to put all that I can into it, because if the game doesn't do it to my expectations, I can't have regrets when I'm older. When I'm like 50, I can't be like, oh, when I was young and I had all that time, I could have done X, Y, and Z better and had a better product. I just don't want to have regrets with it.
Oh, totally.
That's my opinion.
I saw another question pop up. What platforms is this going to be on when it's out?
Currently, right now, we are going to have PC, Steam for Windows. The other platforms, due to Steam's rules with launching stuff and it costing, we will have more if there is demand for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we could easily, if the demand's there, we can easily transport it to Mac and Linux.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And if support even gets further from that, we could look at very big maybe Switch release, but I would have to see overwhelming. So I'd have to be blown away by support to go for that.
Totally. And I just want to say, hey, Nick from Gear Seekers, thanks for joining us as well. He asks, can you add an NPC named Krazy Ken who owns an apple orchard? Maybe in a DLC. Now, you said apple orchid, but I read that as orchard. I don't know if you meant like an orchid like a flower, but anyway, sorry, Jack. Go ahead before I get stupider.
No, that's fine. I mean, adding an NPC isn't hard. It's
True.
just I have to pay someone to make the asset and stuff.
No,
so
you absolutely should not put me in that game. I will like infect it somehow, and everything will break. Go ahead.
So, basics of how stuff works. So, I go back up to my little sample marketplace here. So there was what I was doing before when I painted this house. That's just painting on the overworld. You can make stuff that's solid, make stuff that's overview.
Cool.
But the key thing to making a game work, any game, even not just RPG Maker, is events. That's that's doors. That's essentially everything you can interact and it does stuff with. So, for example, this door here, this is the way RPG Maker codes stuff. This is essentially coding like JavaScript, but it's like for dummies.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't, and that's the cool thing about RPG Maker, even if you don't have any coding knowledge, you can jump into this with a couple YouTube tutorials and you can make stuff pretty easily. So
Sweet.
Essentially what this event is telling is when, so if you look at all your information here, this is the first page of the event. There's no conditions to have this run, so it's not like, so you can set switches to have like certain variables set so that it'll happen. So you can have like, if you walk on this space 2 times, it'll make this switch go off, which will make this event appear. It's all essentially a giant Rube Goldberg machine. That's all really coding is. But that's what these are, the conditions, your image here of what it works. Options, RPG Maker can make stuff easier for you. So you can make, like if you have a person, you can have it walking, you can have them in a fixed direction if you have an event that you don't want. So if like somebody talks from it, the left or the right, everything's defaulted to turn to the player as if they're talking to it. You can have a directional fix so it doesn't actually change. But right now we have the priority set to the same as characters. What this means is essentially if we imagine the world map here is 3 layers. There's an above layer, the player layer, and the floor layer. So this is essentially saying what layer it's on. So if you are on the same layer as characters, if you walk into it, it'll be like walking into a wall of some sort. If it's above, it'll be as if you're walking underneath it. and if it's below, you'll walk on top of it. So it's kind of like just thinking of layers of like an art program. And then the trigger. So triggers will do whatever the contents say, and the triggers are as here. Action button is like as every RPG has, the exam button. You press when you walk up to the thing and you press that, it will do what it has to do. Player touch means as soon as the player model makes contact with the event, it'll trigger the contents. Event touch would mean if you make another event touch that event, it'll trigger, because you can make events move. So if you were to like go here and go to set movement route, I can make this door walk around. I don't know why I'd make one a door walk around, but the thing is you could. And then finally is auto run. Auto run is it will just run the content, and it'll freeze everything to run whatever your contents are. Generally saved for cutscenes and stuff. That way it'll just run through everything where the player can't really put it into any input. So that's how cutscenes really work. And then finally is parallel. It'll run, and it'll run just in the background along with the game. So as you can see here, it'll play the sound effect file, which is an opening door. It'll set the movement route of this event, which is to turn it, which is how the animation works in RPG Maker. By it turning directions, as you see here, each of these squares is a direction, it'll animate an opening door. And then it'll allow you to walk through it, it'll set you to take one step forward, and it'll transport you to the store. So now that we've seen this code, if you were to close this, and then if we were to go into a test of the game, test run, you can see the door will work as I told it. When we walk up to it and touch it, I'll walk through it. I won't have to hit any confirmation. It'll play the sound effects, and it'll take me into the area like I told it to do so. This is our title screen. So as you can see, we're in town. I go up to the door, and if I touch it, I go inside, moves me forward, brings me into a store.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the basis of how everything works. I'm giving a super simplified version of all this, but that's the nice thing about RPG Maker is that you can essentially, with these events, make stuff work exactly how you want to work.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So it's that awkward. That's a Midwestern thing. Like I feel like you're trying to like dodge around each other in a hallway. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, it's the opes.
The opes.
At least we're not opes.
Yep, we're oping. Op. How long did it? I think you answered this before. Forgive me. How long did it take you to like self-teach this to yourself?
Self-teaching, I would say that with just the amount of stuff that's there, I would still not say I'm very good at it, but I wouldn't say I'm a master.
Oh, sure.
There's always new stuff you can learn. One of the biggest headaches I can actually show you is the second dungeon of the game, the Mage's College, was I took a foray into learning AI on my own, and that was horrible. Never again. So if I go to the Mage's College, there's a scene where Ramona gets locked up and she has to achieve back to her comrades, find them. So in the Mage's College, as you see, we have two dudes here, pretty empty room. But all these little nodes you see on the right are controlling various variables, all these variables, to act as these guards. So the guards essentially have two sets of brains, the way I've made this work. Brain one is their sight. So it tells them that if player is in these squares based on the squares that he's standing in, it should trigger an alert phase and they will chase after the player. And brain 2 just controls their movement of their guard route of moving back and forth. That is one thing I've learned interestingly with learning more advanced techniques in RPG Maker. Mm-hmm. You learn other techniques that animators and other like pro video game people use. And there's a lot of smoke and mirrors to get certain cutscenes done. Sure. Like, perfect example is in Resident Evil 4, talking about other video games, I always thought that like, the model. So I always thought it was weird. If anyone's played this, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're beating Resident Evil 4, and you unlock the alternate costumes, and you're playing through the game, cutscenes will sometimes not have the alternate costume on Leon, the main character. Which when I was growing up, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. What I learned because of working with RPG makers, what they're doing is the things that Leon is doing in the cutscene, the game model can't do those things, and they only made The game model have that, where they just have a separate model for that. They just literally hide underneath the freaking floor.
Yeah.
There is so much crap in movies and games where it's like, oh, I wonder how they rendered this out. It's like it's all hiding in the floor. It's on that same map. They didn't make a new map.
Oh, totally.
No, it's just all hiding.
I know, totally. Like I know, like in the early days when I would like futz around with the Source engine, and I'd be a geek and no clip during a scene and all that stuff. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this stuff is just like hiding here, and then it comes up, and then it's all make pretend, people.
What I find funny about that is when you don't create stuff, because this was definitely me. When you don't create stuff and you find stuff like that, you're like, that's just lazy. And when you create stuff, you're like, oh my god, that's so smart.
It's genius. So much time. It's amazing. There were a couple more questions coming in. Yes, Mirations, I'm sorry I missed your first question there. Is it possible to have more than one person working on the game file at once, or would that cause an issue with the programming file? Now, do you mean like two people simultaneously, like off of a network location working on it at once, or do you mean like passing it around back and forth, because those are two different things? But Jack, if you have any input on that.
I mean, either way, actually, if you can find no, you can have two people working on it. If you have like a Dropbox or you're both working on it, and as long as you coordinate and always make backups.
Yes.
Side note, actually, regardless of if you're working with somebody or anything, make backups.
100%.
But no, it wouldn't really jack up files as long as the person you're working with and you replace them properly. Ironically, though, the only thing that you would bump into is legal issues. RPG Maker's terms of service specifically states that if you have multiple people working directly within the engine, they all need a copy of the engine.
Sure. Oh, that's a good thing.
But the workaround with that is if they're not so for example, if the fact that I'm changing maps in actual game design, I need a copy of RPG Maker MV to make this work. But Lumoff, who's just commissioning music, he doesn't need a copy because he's not working with an engine. He's just giving me music. So it all depends. So the legality will fall there. The only reason legality, because if you're doing a fan game, I mean, you shouldn't break the law, but if you're doing a fan game, that probably doesn't matter. But if you're doing a commercial product like I am, you absolutely cannot do that.
Right.
That was about the hardest thing about getting Torches Fate ready, is learning all the legal stuff. It's not fun. You don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming it's rewarding though, so it works.
Oh, it's absolutely reward. But when I started working on Torches of Fate, I was working on it. The legal stuff I didn't get into until like the last 3 months recently.
Totally.
And if I had known it had been that much of a roadblock, oh my god, I would have.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh, I was talking to someone about something like that recently. And it's like, yeah, if you take on a new project, like you can't really be looking at everything coming up because it's just going to scare you to death. Like you just kind of got to start.
You do. You kind of just have to take that plunge, because people ask me all the time, like, oh, are you happy you did Torches of Fate? I'm like, yeah. I'm glad I just took the plunge though, because if you look at the big picture, it'll scare the shit out of you.
Yeah. I think I remember. Yeah, it was last week when I was talking with Renee Ritchie. I was talking about me starting YouTube when I was like 13 and stupid and had no idea what was involved with it, and I just jumped in. Like, if I would look at it now, starting from nothing, I'd be like, whoa, this might be a little hard. But yeah, no, totally. I'm glad you see it that way. Mo asked, will there be any Easter eggs?
Oh, there's plenty of Easter eggs already. There's lots. There's not only is there Easter eggs, there's lots of bonus content, because I believe games should be just get a whole bunch of value out of them.
Nice.
We have post game modes, 2 of them specifically. We have a boss rush mode, and then we also have Rift Dungeons as a post game, as a way of getting cool stuff. Reason I'm bringing this up is one of the post-game rewards is an Easter egg to the Evil Dead movies. I'll tell you what it is, but good luck finding it. It's a chainsaw, and the description of it is just groovy. So, you know. And one more thing on the Easter eggs, I do want to say, won't tell you anything about it, but there's 3 endings to Torches of Fate. One's pretty easy to find. It's the normal ending. Second one, a little bit harder to find. Whatever. Third ending's really, 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 really well hidden. If you guys can find that third ending when you play, I will be astounded. There's a whole secret boss, whole secret cutscene. There's some meta stuff with it. If you guys find it, I'll be surprised.
Dude.
There's ciphers and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I'm curious when I put the game out if anyone actually does find it. We'll leave it at that.
Well, if anyone who's watching this, if you guys find it, you tweet me, I'll tweet him, and you'll win a cookie or something.
You'll win something, that's for sure. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll do something for
now,
you.
when you say meta, is that like the game being like self-aware? Like,
oh, absolutely.
Oh,
like the whole universe of the game gets turned on itself if you find. But you gotta find it. It's really, really well hidden.
Oh, okay, so a little bit of a sidetrack. Have you played Doki Doki Literature Club?
Yes.
Okay.
I have.
So I haven't.
It doesn't get that meta.
Okay, I was gonna say like on a
close.
I was gonna say like on a level of 0 to Monica, how meta is this game? But like, no, that's cool.
The secret quest, I'd say about an 8 if you get to that point.
That's cool.
It's about an 8, 10, I would say Monica. So
Nice.
But you gotta get to the secret quest. That's where it's all kind of. There is not 100%. There is some little in jokes we have. Like I can find one right now. And I can just go here in the editor instead of booting the game up itself. So if you go down to the Mages College, luckily it's funny because I'm scrolling down, but the Mages College is also kind of south on the world map, so I'm not totally lying. Perfect example, you'll see an NPC here. Her name's Mooney. She'll be like, gemstones are so pretty. I particularly love rose quartz, blah, blah, blah. Ramona, the main character, gets confused, and everyone's like, Ramona, are you okay? And Ramona's like, guys, this is so creepy. She sounds like my twin. And they argue about that a little bit. Reason why this is funny is this person here, Mooney, is the voice actress for Ramona that we put in the game. So she's essentially talking to herself and she's getting creeped out.
Oh, yes.
So there's little nods like that all over.
Oh, heck yes. I love like voice actor Easter eggs. That's amazing.
Go on.
27 Amzy was just saying that I think he said your Twitter said it's coming to mobile. That's probably why the mobile thing got brought. We have to change that. Okay.
It's if there's one sin I am guilty of with making a video game is I do not keep up on social media. I don't. I mean, if I don't, my regular social media is not much better.
Sure.
Like I am terrible at sharing updates. I should probably just give it to my marketing person and just say, you take care of this, because I obviously cannot handle this responsibility.
Totally.
But that's 100% my bad. I'm sorry if you guys were like super excited for a mobile release, but maybe if I were, again, the whole like the Switch thing, if I were to make enough money where I don't have to do the microtransaction bullcrap again, I'll take a crack at it. I'm not against it. I just don't want to do microtransactions. I'd rather it not come out than be forced to do that.
Sure.
I have my dignity.
Oh man, totally. I know some people are just tuning in, so by the way, if you guys are, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I see United Wave in the chat. Yes, speaking of the marketing guy.
Right there.
Hunter, Jack Apple Pro, thank you guys so much for coming out, and thanks for the questions. I super appreciate it. For those who are just tuning in, I'm here with Jack, the game designer of Torches of Fate, an upcoming indie title in the RPG genre. And no, not Rocket Propelled Grenade. Come on, guys. We're talking about a role-playing game. Come on, we're not that bad. But anyway, Alex Jackson asks, what made you go into game design? And I know we talked about that a bit at the beginning, but for the new people tuning in, yeah.
What made me go into game design was I had always wanted to make a video game since I was a small child. Like that was my my two dream jobs as a kid, because I was a weird kid. My first one from like first grade on, I was like, I want to be a shark scientist.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I didn't learn how to swim until I was 21. But what kid who couldn't swim want to be a shark scientist because that's smart. But once I turned around 13, video games had engulfed my world. I was a lonely kid, but it's where everybody else was hanging out with their buddies. I was saving Hyrule from Ganondorf. So I just really got into video games, and I played Dungeons and Dragons at a young age. So I loved the idea of creating worlds, and I just wanted to make worlds for people to enjoy. So that's what made me take the plunge into video game development.
Totally. I should actually also mention that Murations, my friend Murations, who was asking about RPG Maker, has also DM'd a ton before. So I think there's like a trend of wanting to build video games and being like a Dungeons and Dragons person. So that's a.
There it might be. I definitely think there's a correlation.
Oh yeah, I think there's something there. What else did you want to show us there?
Well, so another thing I wanted to show you as soon as my cat will stop biting my hand. We can one of the more interesting things is the combat, how I've tried to differentiate it from other RPGs so combat can feel fresh. We'll load up my sample file here right now. So thing with combat, what's neat is how I've did it is there's two things you have to be aware of. You have skills and magic. So skills are dependent on what weapons you have. So Dimitri has a bunch of skills, but depending on what weapon he has equipped, because he has 3 categories of weapons: swords, guns, and claws, he'll have access to certain skills depending on what happens. So he has a gun equipped right now. I'll show you what I mean more when I get into combat. Engor and Dimitri being the more martial of the characters, that's kind of their bread and butter, having different skills depending on what weapons equipped. Engor also. But with everybody with magic, magic kind of takes a Dark Souls approach where spells have to be equipped in town, and you have a certain amount of slots available to you. So you have to strategize what spells you want to bring out to you in the overworld. So Dimitri right now, we can equip Minor Heal, Cyclone, and see if you see there's different in the boxes right here. You'll see there's different numbers. That's how many slots they take. So Dimitri has 2 open slots on the right. If I wanted to take True Heal, I can't. I'm tapping the accept key, and it won't let me take it because there's no room. But if I were to take over the slot of Minor Heal, it would give me enough to swap it out. So I can have Minor Heal and Cyclone, but I'm out of slots now. I couldn't equip any more spells. So it makes you have to strategize on what you want to bring out to the field. Let me get some spells on everyone else, and I can... Oh, he's already got spells. Oh, does she do? Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I'm not a complete idiot.
Quick question.
Right, yes.
Now, I'm not going to assume Riley's species, because that would be wrong, but what is Riley?
He is a Keaton.
There we go. Asked and answered.
Keatons are adorable little fox creatures with horns that are magical.
I was going to say, yeah, it looked like a reindeer, like fox kind of hybrid. But
essentially.
But yeah.
It's all it's a made up race I made up. So,
totally.
But I'm sure the Keaton word is not, but I'm not going to get into this. You guys know. So we'll wander around as you do in RPGs. Get into a battle. There we go. Okay, so typical battle screen. You got your animated characters on the right, enemies on the left. Turn order is up here. Tells you what order you're going to go in based on current speeds. But as you can see, if you go to Dimitri, go to his specials. Well, he actually can't use anything because he has no focus spirit, so he's actually a bad candidate right now. So we'll have him attack something, get him some, so I can demonstrate. But you can only use... So you saw the spells Ramona had, but she only has access to the ones that I equipped for her. But again, we're just going to get Dimitri's fighting spirit up so I can demonstrate. All right, so see, I have 7 fighting spirits, so I can use anything with less than 7. But I can't use Faint Slash because I don't have a sword. I can only use Tracking Shot because I have enough fighting spirit, and I have a gun equipped. So that's how the martial classes work. That's how the magic works. Just on this fight.
And I'm also sorry, guys. This whole screen sharing idea was kind of last minute. I don't have the sound routed, but believe me, there's sound in the game.
Yes, there is sound in the game. Absolutely. There's custom soundtracks. There's sound effects. That we're not cheaping you on that.
Just
I promise you.
Gives you more to look forward to. There's tons. Yeah.
And then we also have items that will let you teleport. We'll just go to a random area. One that's still being worked on a little bit. But yep, so you got a village of animal creatures where Riley's from. And we'll go to a snow area. Snowy town. You know, typical RPG stuff. But yeah, so that's essentially some of the key things that we have going is we have those custom cutscenes, manga style panel cutscenes, equipable spells and skills for combat. so combat can be a little bit more thought out.
Yeah, man.
Will really come in handy for when people want to try Rift Dungeons, which Rift Dungeon is essentially a dungeon post game where you have to get through it. You have 30 minutes to complete it and kill a boss. Boss is always the same, dungeon's always the same, but depending on how fast, so there's a risk reward with this post game system. If you kill the boss really, really fast, and you have a really high luck score, there's a better chance to get better drops. So you could get better treasure items. It makes your characters more powerful. But, the risk reward, because luck items don't have very good stats. It makes your character essentially pretty weak. Or you could just beef out your character to try to speed run it. So strategically pick out, would you rather have a luck build or a power build, and just run through it and figure out whatever works better for you.
Sure, man. Yeah, is there anything else super quick you wanted to show off?
I pretty much hit all the key points that's not going into uber duper
Spoilers.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Totally.
Gotta love them.
That's awesome. Well, if that's it for the screen sharing, we'll switch back to your camera there, and we'll continue.
Yep.
Sweet, guys. So if you guys are just tuning in, I'm here with Jack, the game designer of an upcoming indie title, Torches of Fate. And we were just getting kind of like a little peek behind the curtain, like of all like the developer stuff, how it works, built inside of a RPG Maker. It's a RPG Maker MX, right? MV, sorry. Yep, and there were some people asking, it's built on top of, it's based on JavaScript, right?
Essentially. It's a mix. It's a mix. Well, the scripts are JavaScript, and I believe it's built on HTML.
Okay.
The exact specifics of that is you'd have to look into it, but it's a mix of between those two.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sweet. So I'm just going to get Jack back on the feed here. Boom! Magic. He's back. That's great. Technology is awesome. I'm going to just press a few little buttons here, and we'll make his box bigger. There we go. All right. So, guys, we are totally not done, though. We can stick around as long as you want, because Jack signed away his soul to me in the fine print of the contract that he probably didn't read.
I didn't, and I totally did. So I mean, yeah, fair.
We talked about it earlier. The legal stuff is a bitch.
It is. It is a royal. This is why, because you end up getting on 24-hour streams. Woo, no sleep.
Yeah, I know.
Although to cheat out of it to sleep, I will go to bed and I'll just put Dart in front of the camera and he'll run off. But I'll just say he's me.
Oh yeah.
He can repercussions.
Super quick, just because I know NDI technology can be funky with Skype. Let's just make sure you're synced so you're not. Weird.
Right.
Go ahead and just give me a nice clap there. No, it actually still is synced. Skype, wow. Like, holy crap, you did something right. I don't know. If there is an issue, anyone in the chat, let me know. You know what to do. Just say, hey, Ken, your show is having a sucky problem. You suck. Fix it. Then I'll fix it. But no, we do have some time for Q&A. If anyone has any other questions for Jack about the game, about him, maybe not his hair, because we already talked about the hair. Hello?
Unless it's the purple hair story, then we can get back to that.
You know what? Yeah, actually, guys, feel free to leave questions in the chat, and while the chat gets filled up, go ahead if you want. Tell the purple hair story.
Well, so the purple hair story is one of our testers, actually, Cole. We were at the dining hall. We were at the dining hall at the college we were at, and one of our friends, Connor, she's a ginger. We had milk for some reason. I think it was breakfast. But what mattered is Cole's accidentally grabbed her glass and drank it, and we jokingly said, "Ha, you're gonna be a ginger now." And so this whole goading ended up with him being like, "Fine, I'll dye my hair." So we went to the store to buy a red hair dye, and someone picked out Fire Engine Red. And he was chickening out. I'm like, "Okay, you dye your hair red, I'll do mine purple." So we got our hair dyed. We had both very different experiences because, as you can see, my friend Cole is a black person with an afro, and he had a Fire Engine Red afro. So people around campus were calling him the Black Ronald McDonald.
Ooh,
and
okay.
I wasn't getting anything because I had purple hair, and everybody was like, "Oh, you're at Stevens Point, Pointer Pride, man, purple hair." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm not getting anything at all." So and then we had to shave Cole's head off completely.
Whoa. Shaved
him bald. And I kind of just let the purple hair grow out and nothing. So I really got nothing much out of that.
Yeah. Wow. Well, there you go, guys. We got red hair and purple hair stories, even though it's not really red. It's the lighting that maybe makes it red, but that purple was way better.
Oh yeah, purple is much better.
You know, it's funny. You know, I saw kind of a meme about this recently, and it's so true. Has anyone noticed that, like, if someone likes the color purple, they, like, really like the color purple? Like, if my favorite color is blue, it's like, whatever. But if you meet someone that likes purple, they, like, really, really love purple. And
It's like purple or die.
yeah, totally. I don't know what it is about that gosh darn color. I don't know if it's because, like, royalty. I don't know. But, like, it's like, I knew people in my life close to me that loved purple and, like, were obsessed with purple. And Comic Sans and Papyrus. But hey, if you're watching, I'm not making fun of your font choice. It's just against nature. Ugh. Just kidding.
You're not, but okay.
wasn't like the Avatar, like James Cameron's Avatar, like that logo type, wasn't that very papyrusy? Like, whatever.
Yeah, it was not good. I mean, there's a lot of things about Avatar I just didn't like, but yeah, I think it did have like a very papyrusy font.
I thought it did, yeah. Well, guys, if there's anything else in the chat you want to ask, feel free to drop that down below, and we'll keep this going. But also, real quick, Jack, I know I have the links in the description, but just so everyone hears it, where can everyone find you / the game?
You can find us on Torches of Fate Twitter, which is literally just Torches of Fate. You can find the game on the Steam page. That's also just on Twitter. Not bleh. Wow, I'm starting to sound dumb.
That's okay.
Torches of Fate Steam page is on Steam, so
Yes.
those are the best two ways. You know, if you got any questions about the game, go ahead and message the Twitter. I am good at answering messages. I'm not good at updating social media. There's
Gotcha.
definitely a difference between the two. So if you message me on Torches of Fate, I will get back to you. I just won't update the Twitter.
Sweet. And I do have a link to the Twitter down below, and also the Game Jolt link, but I could also put the Steam link in there later. Go ahead and check that out. Well, okay, I like this question. Hopefully Jack does too. What 27 Amzy asks, what is your favorite, or what are your favorite fonts? If you have one.
I could be that person and be like, I like Wingdings.
Yep.
But that's just honestly, I kind of like Courier New, and I know everyone says it's a garbage font and they don't like it, but I mean, I like it. It's
Whatever.
It's nice. It's easy on the eyes.
Yeah, Courier is my screenplay font, you know. That's right on my screen.
I like. There's something about it I like.
Yeah.
Just get off me.
I'm
It's
cool.
better than Wingdings or Comic Sans. It's more professional than those. For
Oh, man.
goodness sake.
Have you ever seen that College Humor skit where, like, all the fonts get together and, like, all the fonts are represented by a person?
Yes.
Oh, dude, I gotta rewatch that. College Humor, man. Come on, get with the times, New Roman. Yeah, for me, I would have to say, well, I'm probably biased because, you know, the Computer Clan has their brand standards and Krazy Ken has, like, his sub-brand standards, but, yeah, I would say Barlow is my biatch when it comes to fonts, because that's the Krazy Ken font is all Barlow, and the Computer Clan font is our headline is all Proxima, or is it Proxima? I don't. However you emphasize your syllables, just whatever.
Syllables.
Hey, Adam Shaw, thanks for coming to the chat. Yeah, if you have questions, ask away. Anyone can ask questions. It is a free country so far. Ask.
To my knowledge.
To my knowledge. I really do like seeing our logo pop up in the chat as well. Everyone that has our membership badges next to their name. That is super cool. So thank you so much for supporting us as well. And yeah, last chance. Anyone that has anything they want to ask, feel free to do so. But then, once we say goodbye to our awesome friend Jack here, the show is not over. I'll still stick around to do some Q&A for those who want to torture me. Hey, it's a Monday night. Let's make Monday a fun day, right? The world's in quarantine. We need something to do.
I mean, fun for them from the sounds of it, not for you.
I like being tortured. Don't skew that. If your mind is in the gutter, get it out of the gutter right now.
Well, if it wasn't in the gutter, you just put it there.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. Yeah.
One thing that I will say, because I was thinking about it, but that whole when the game comes out and you got the secret boss, we find something, I'll do something. I am dead serious. If you guys can find that, if somebody can prove, tweeting to Ken first or me first, like, hey, I found your secret boss.
Oh,
I'll do something for you,
dude.
That's not That's not me bullshitting. I'll figure something out.
That is cool. That is cool. You know, I used to hide little stuff like that in the Game Maker games I used to make back then, and it would have like a code, and it would be like, tweet me the code, and like you win this or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Shit. I'm
Yeah. No, it's dead serious. If anyone could find that, let me know.
the hidden ending. Yeah. Ooh. Nice. It's gonna be like 15 years later, someone tweets me, and I'm gonna be like, "What are you talking about?" Unless it becomes really big, unless, you know, it becomes like the next Undertale, then hell yeah, I'll be like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That was the first game, though. You're an OG.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I love indie game devs. I see stuff like Five Nights at Freddy's. I see stuff like Undertale, and it's so cool that, like, you don't need to be this big ass company to make a game. Like, you don't have to. Like, freaking Scott Cawthon was like, I would say almost literally on the verge of suicide, and he makes this freaking amazing franchise, like, out of just hard work, and that's freaking amazing. So yeah, Jack, it's cool what you're doing, man.
Appreciate it. I mean, I think personally with how, stuff's evolving, and I think one sad thing is, like, we do love our big title games. We like, our Last of Us. We like Legend of Zelda. We like all these big title games. But I think one thing that is just on the industry is shocking is just, as an indie developer, when I'm working with people, I'm very friendly, very, casual culture, and I get to put my dream out. I think it is kind of awful, though. We see all these stories about, like, these video game employees being worked insane hours just to get these games out.
Yeah.
Hear stories about, like, Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption 2. I guess Last of Us 2 also recently, they said that they were dealing with a whole bunch of crazy crunch hours and stuff. And I think it's nice that these creative people are finally getting their voices heard, because I don't think this is a new phenomenon. I think it's just with social media, more of it's getting out.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I've said the same thing before. It's just like a lot of what we see now is like stuff that's been happening all along. Freaking Billy McFarland said the same thing. It's at least I think he said the same thing before he went to prison. It's just social media. It's just social media that makes us all more aware of it. So yeah. That was a rabbit hole Fire Festival. Oh man. Good documentary on Hulu and Netflix, by the way. If anyone wants something to watch the Fire Festival documentaries.
It is. You really should watch it.
Did you watch both?
No, I only watched I have to watch the other one, but I was probably going to do that sometime this weekend.
Sweet.
When, I actually have off.
Sweet. Mirations. Hey, Mirations, what is going on? We need to hang out again. I know this quarantine is being weird, but yeah, they asked if you could pick another media to tell your story, such as a comic book, TV, or what would it be? My significant other asks. Yeah, good question. What do you think?
Oh, that's a tough one. It's a good one, but it's a tough one. Because I think stories. It's very important what media they're told in, because you can tell a story differently in a game, a movie, a comic book. But if I had to pick another media besides a video game to tell a story in, I think I'd love to work on a TV show.
Ooh.
Like something like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where you can make a long, overarching story, get character plots really fleshed out. Get to work with all those animators and voice actors. I think working on a TV show would be pretty fantastic.
Oh hell yeah! Oh man. Oh, someone just said the audio is a little bit out of sync. Yeah, I had a feeling that would probably happen because I was just eyeballing it, but people were saying it was mostly okay. I'm sorry. It's Skype NDI. I was fiddling with it earlier. I probably broke it. Like, I break everything.
Wow, so negative.
I know. No, I know. I'm a positive guy. I just get through the day with my Krazy Ken curse, and yeah, stay happy. Stay happy. And also thank you moderators in the chat for taking care of that, because oh my gosh, if it weren't for you guys, there'd be like a bunch of idiots flooding the chat room while I'm like trying to like have a good time here, man. So thank you for doing that. If there's any last minute questions for Jack, guys, let me know. If not, we'll transition into the next segment here. But what other indie titles have you played or have been inspiring to you?
Other indie titles that I have played recently, Hollow Knight is pretty sweet. I do like me Hollow Knight. Undertale, but that's not recently.
Sure.
I haven't really lately. I've been keeping my eye to the ground because I often go around on Game Jolt to look around for indie titles. Nothing's really jumped out at me yet, though.
Gotcha.
It's kind of hard, especially when all my free time is going to Torches of Fate.
Right.
I'm not trying to sound like callous, like, 'cause I usually do really like me some indie games. It's just recently I can't think of any. Risk of Rain was pretty good too. I like that one. Spelunky, but those are all older. Like recently though, I can't really.
Mm-hmm.
Off the top of my head.
And I know we talked about this a bit earlier too, but the question came up again. How'd you come up with the name? Torches of Fate. They said Torches of Fire, but I know they.
Okay, two things. I'll get to that. A friend of mine also called it Torches of Fire. They're like, I just read it as Torches of Fire, and I'm like, it's Torches of Fate. But the reason I came up with Torches of Fate was partway through. There's an important plot device involving the birth of fire into something, because we often use the metaphor breathing like flames being anew of something like reborn, like the phoenix. So I needed something that was with fire, and other things just didn't work. Like the campfire of fate didn't make any sense, or the brazier of fate didn't. So torches, it just had a nice ring to it. I would talk more about the Torches of Fate themselves, but it is a key plot point between the game. I can't play the game. You'll learn why they're important. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah. Also, for people who were asking about the live, some people were saying it's not out of sync for them. Yeah, I don't know. It's been like a bug I've noticed with YouTube lately, especially with like live. Sometimes things will go out of sync on YouTube's end. So if there's an issue, go ahead and refresh, and just everyone don't refresh all at the same time. Only refresh if you need to. Because guess what? If you all refresh at the same time, what happens to my analytics? The graph goes crazy. But hopefully Google is smart enough to recalculate that. Google's smart.
Fingers crossed on Google being smart.
I'm placing
too smart because I'll be thinking in my kitchen, I need olive oil. Then I'll look at my phone. Hi, sales on olive oil in your area. How the did you get in my head?
Shit, it's crazy. Like, what was a good example that happened recently? Like, I was literally just thinking about it, and it popped up on Instagram, and I'm like, yo, what?
Like, what? No, it's like, well, it's just a coincidence. It happens to too many people too much of the time for it to be a coincidence.
Oh no, it's totally real. Edward Snowden did like an expose on it, if that's even the right fancy word for it. But the way I always thought it worked was, obviously your phone's not transmitting every single byte of sound, but it's like it has like information stored on it that listens for like a keyword, and when that keyword like lines up, it then sends that data out to a server, which I still think is up, but
it absolutely is. But we'll never win that fight because that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But smartphones are too commonplace in today's society.
It's
just,
dude, my favorite movie is still Summer Wars, which is actually a really good one everyone should watch right now because it's about cyber commuting and like technology and crap, and that's what we're really stuck with this virus going around. But yeah, things like that. I think about Watch Dogs. I loved Watch Dogs. Like, technology everywhere. It's just, what's it gonna do to you one day? It's gonna F you up.
Either gonna F you up or it's gonna do great things, or both.
Or it could do both. Yeah. Oh, some people were asking, is this future merch? Oh, these are like I was just fiddling with these. These are like the test run of our first sticker batch. These are kind of exclusive because they don't have our website or anything on them. This is just the test run. There's only like 10 in existence, so I might give away some of these. But yeah, potential future merch. There were some more questions coming through. I think 27 Amzy says, dumb random question. Hey, there's no such thing as a dumb question.
Not at all.
Just dumb people that ask questions. No, I'm just kidding. He asked, what web browsers do you use? Okay, Jack, take it away.
I use Firefox mainly because that's, I know it's pretty everybody makes fun of me because I still use Firefox. It's what I was taught in grade school, and I just never swatched over. But yeah. Wait, no, let me rephrase. So I use Firefox, and then I use Internet Explorer to download Firefox.
Yeah. That's how you do it. Yeah, dude, it's crazy because like I have like everything installed because you never know if you need that one weird plugin that works only with Firefox during a full moon while you're balancing chocolate milk on your head or something. You might need that. Yeah, normally I'm Safari, but at my day job we're all G Suite based, so use Google Chrome there. Other questions coming in. Oh, do you still play D&D?
Yes, I actually have a D&D group I'm running with right now.
Awesome.
We're running Curse of Strahd. I'm actually, for the first time in like 20 years, I'm actually not DMing this one because I specifically wanted to take a break from it because the last session we ran, I was DMing making Torches of Fate, and working a full-time job, and I'm like, I'm done.
Ooh,
I'm gonna be a player character for once, and I want to not have to worry about anything except showing up and playing on the day. I can't juggle all three.
totally, totally. You know, a while ago, I felt the same thing with like all of my video productions. I'm like, I'm leading all these video productions. One of these days, I kind of just want to be a gopher. I just want to be a guy on set. I don't want to have like all this leadership going on. I liked it for about 30 minutes, and then I was like, what the shit?
Right.
But yeah, when you need a break, though, you need a break. Do it.
And it breaks our healthy.
Yep.
Like working back to the original point I said at the very start of the show, like working yourself so hard into the ground, it does nothing good for you.
No. Burnout is
Everything
real.
you touch, burnout is very, very real, and you're just gonna not put out quality work,
Yep.
and you're gonna regret it,
Totally.
literally.
Totally. Let's see, Mirations. By the way, Mirations, thanks for coming to the show tonight. I really appreciate you being here. What do you think about how long a game should be? What is a good marker to know if it should be saved for a sequel or such? Ooh, that's cool.
Good length of a game, I think it depends on the game itself. I feel like you should be able to play through a game, and you shouldn't be craving more story-wise. You shouldn't be like to an extreme degree. Wanting more is fine, but you shouldn't be like, what? It just ends there. But what about this? What about that? But it also shouldn't be I'm gonna throw a show under the bus here because I used to be a big fan of it, not anymore. You don't want to be Walking Dead, where every episode you're like, why am I watching this still? Like nothing is resolved. People just die, and
No offense, guys. Just
none. If you like Walking Dead, that's fine. Just know that I lost it during the whole Negan thing, because that took 17 years to move forward from that.
I've heard similar things from other people. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's just it's a matter of just, for your game, it depends on the game itself. Some games can have a 5-hour story, and that is more than enough. Other games need like a 30-hour story to get the point across. Just don't want to have too much padding. Personally, I think Torches of Fate, when I ran through it, avoiding stuff, I think it'll take about 10 hours to finish.
Okay.
That's not including post game. That's not including trying to get the best stuff in boss rush. That's not including grinding on rift bosses for the best gear. It's definitely not including the hidden thing.
Yeah.
It's roughly about 10 hours. Someone's like, well, could someone do it faster? I'm sure if someone like looked at all the data I ran and figured out a way to speed run it, I'm sure someone could cruise through the thing.
Yeah.
But a casual, not doing any extra stuff run took me about 10 hours.
Yeah. I think that's a healthy time. I mean, I think like when I first played, I think like Half-Life 2 or something like that, it was probably around 10-ish hours. Yeah.
I think, and when I said 30 plus 2, I think in today's society that's becoming more unrealistic for games. I think back in the the NES and the Super Nintendo era, that was expected because as kids, I don't know if anybody was like this, but for my family it was like, oh hey, I got a new Super Nintendo game for my birthday. Yeah, you will get another one for Christmas, and then it's going to be a bit of a dry season because that's all we can afford. So games just had to be longer back in the day, and there wasn't as much stuff. Didn't have the social media, I don't know. Personally, I think with the sheer amount of games coming out, I think if you have a game that's so long people don't want to finish it because more new stuff come out, it's just not worth it.
Oh, sure. I remember when I first learned about RuneScape, and like I was like, how long does it take to beat the game? And people said, like, it doesn't end. My stupid 5th grade brain could not comprehend, like, oh, what do you mean it doesn't end? Like, I did not
It's got to have an end point.
Yeah, like, I didn't really grasp the whole, like, open world thing at the time. But yeah, Mirations, it's kind of... it's an awesome question, but yeah, it's totally... It's gray. It's gray.
It's a subjective question to whatever story you're telling.
Yep. And that's why, that's why we were talking about earlier, like, getting that criticism. Hey, it's totally okay to run, like, a rough draft by, like, 3 people. Maybe.
I mean,
yeah.
Just a springboard before I forget here. I mean, case in point with Torches of Fate, when I first had the draft of my story, Torches of Fate had 10 dungeons, a time traveling mechanic, 10 different characters to swap between. It's now currently 4. It's the finished project will have 4 main dungeons, 4 main characters, no time traveling mechanic. So you just end up cutting some things because I had some people say it seemed a bit too much. I thought it was a bit too much. So,
Yeah.
but continue on, Ken.
No, that totally makes sense. It's like when I edit a video, and let's say the client is along with me, like they're not the type of client that's just like, yeah, go ahead and do it. They're the type of client that doesn't necessarily micromanage, but they want to see like it being developed throughout the phases. I always give them a little more because we can always machine it down. You know, it's hard to add to it. You know, you can always machine it down later. So yeah, that totally makes sense to me. I do more with less if you can. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So yeah, Mirations, I know there's no black and white answer, but I would say get some feedback if you can and be like, oh, maybe I don't need all this crap. I spent an hour writing a scene for something, which isn't really that long, but I ended up doing that. And when I reread it later, I was like, this is a load of shit. You know, it was okay. The scene was okay, but where it was positioned just slowed down the action too much, and I'm like, delete. And I put it into a deleted scenes file because you know what? People love deleted scenes, so release that later as a bonus feature.
I mean, with writing your stuff, if you're worried about, you know, like a wasted amount of time, because, you know, my best advice to you, if you're worried about like making content and then you have to cut it because, you know, it doesn't fit, just don't look at it as like, wow, I just wasted an hour. Like for you, when like I waste an hour cutting that scene,
right.
Take what you can from it. Like, I learned better time management skills. I learned whatever that scene had. I maybe learned how to do that better.
Exactly. Totally. And I have a coworker in the video world that called it killing babies, where it's like, if you have all this footage, like, even if you spent 5 hours getting that amazing shot, if the shot doesn't help with the story, doesn't do anything, and you need to get rid of it, as the editor, get rid of it. That's why it's a general rule of thumb. I don't know, some people might argue me on this, but it's a general rule of thumb that the editor does not go to the set because the editor doesn't want to be like predisposed to all of the work that went on to get that shot. The editor just wants to see the footage and be like, yeah, that works with the story. That doesn't. Oh, that's a 3-hour shot. A lot of money behind it. I don't care. Gone. So yeah, killing babies. Cutting room floor. The floor is there for your footage.
Covered in baby blood.
Yeah, I know that's more the violent way to put it, but it's like, yeah, you know, you cut the film, there it goes. Anyway, yeah, it applies to so many different mediums. Books, movies, games. Yeah, you're probably always going to start with more and machine it down. Absolutely. Wow. Shit, this was freaking cool, man. So I appreciate you coming out tonight. Last chance for anyone in the chat. If you have any questions before we move into the final Q&A with just me, just to hang out for a little bit, now's your chance because this train is leaving the station. Actually, no, it's not. Who am I talking about? Everything's closed. It's quarantine. There's no train.
I was just gonna say everything's closed.
Everything's closed, man. I need a haircut.
I mean, you could always just, you know, shave yourself. Give yourself a red afro wig, and, you know, we can shave you down like just like we did Cole.
Oh man, that sounds like a terrible idea.
It is.
I'm not gonna protest the whole haircut thing though, because that's ridiculous. But yeah, I could use one. And you know, when I gel my hair, it's like okay, but when it's not gelled, my bangs are just poking me in the eye, and it's annoying.
Right, you just have that constant, essentially, fog looking around the room.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's like. Everything looks like my hair. What's going on? United Wave asks, why are you so handsome, Jack, with a heart emoticon?
Why are you so handsome yourself? Question mark?
Question mark. Oh, man. All right, well, Jack, one more time for the audience. Torches of Fate coming out later this month, right?
Yes, late May.
Cool, late May. And on Steam, right?
Yep, it'll be on Steam. With the Game Jolt link he did provide, there is granted it's old, but there is a demo to kind of get you the feel of the characters and stuff that is there. Game Jolt has the demo, but Steam will be the final game will be launched in May, late May.
Sweet. And just to reiterate, the Game Jolt link is in the description down below, or as I believe Ray William Johnson called it, the doobly-doo. But probably no one in this chat room remembers Ray William Johnson. Actually, you might. I
was gonna say that's an old reference.
I was gonna say that's an old reference. That was I think my brother got me hooked on =3 like Wait, guys, if you're new to this channel, first of all, awesome. I love you guys, but we've had this channel open since 2007. YouTube was baby when we started. We saw mostly everything. Smosh was filming on DV tape.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Forgot Smosh was a thing.
Yeah, oh, I'm so...
You're so old now.
Dude, some of the earliest videos I did on this channel, and maybe I'll show them during like a live stream like flashback or something, but some of the earliest videos I did on this channel before it was more tech-centric were like skits like inspired by Smosh. They absolutely sucked, of course, but
oh yeah,
they were inspired by Smosh. Scott the Magic Man asked, how much will the game cost?
Game currently looking at $8.99 for a price.
Sweet.
It may change based on when we crunch some final numbers, but it's probably going to be $8.99.
Cool. And no microtransactions.
No microtransactions. That's the key thing. Once you pay $8.99, you get the whole shebang. Like there's no day one stuff. No like, hey, you like the alternate costume that we have for Riley where he gets an adorable hat and cape, which by the way, one of the endings, you do get a costume where Riley has a hat and a cape, but it doesn't cost you a thing.
Nice. Awesome. Well, Jack, this was an absolute treat. I mean, I don't know, maybe in the next game you make, we'll have you on the show again sometime, if you wish.
Oh, I would love to come back if I ever make a game again.
Yeah, hey, it could happen.
No, I'm not against it. I mean, realistically, once Torches of Fate's out, I'm gonna take a break from it from a bit, mainly because it was a long 3 years of learning, juggling, and working. It was just a lot. I'm gonna take a break from it, see how it does. I might dabble into something else. Maybe not an RPG. Maybe if I do next game, the idea of making like a Metroidvania does interest me. So if I do dabble in a game, it might be not a turn-based RPG. It might be something like Symphony of the Night.
Sweet.
But that's a future Jacob project.
Oh, totally. Awesome. Well, Jack, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. We'll talk some more later. And everyone, feel free to send off, don't say F in the chat. Say whatever letter is for a good thing. A or something. I don't know. Drop an A in the chat. Anyway, Jack, thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank have
you
a
for
good
having
one.
Me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen and everything in between. That was Jack. That was a lot of fun. And, well, now I'm just here. I'm here just kind of doing some Q&A. So this is kind of like the after show now. The main part of the show has come and gone. Sad. We're all sad. Just kidding. And now it's time for the after show. So I'm here for a little bit. If you have any questions for me or questions about the Computer Clan, or if you just want to talk tech, now is your chance. I'll be here for a little bit just hanging out with you guys, doing some Q&A, AMA, all these other three-letter acronym things you kids have. Feel free to drop stuff in the chat down below or to the side or wherever you have your chat window. It's a free country. Yeah, go ahead and drop those and we'll keep the show going. And again, I'm actually feeling kind of okay right now. I know I was coughing a bit earlier, but yeah, I'm still recovering from this crap. But I hope everyone's staying safe out there. Also, as you probably noticed, I have an ergonomic chair here now. I like really hurt myself after sitting on that stool earlier during the Renee Ritchie show, so hopefully this helps. I feel like I'm still a little bit sore, but I've been sitting for like an hour and a half, and usually I try to walk every 20 minutes, but when you're doing a live show, it's a little bit tricky. But overall, it does feel a lot better. By the way, I do have this on my Amazon list. If you want to support the Computer Clan through our Amazon affiliate link, you can just go to our website and click Buy Tech Gear. This chair is on my list. I highly recommend it. It's the Work Pro like Quantum 9000, some crazy name. Super ergonomic, lots of controls, adjustable everything, and it's mesh, so it breathes. It's super ergonomic and super comfy. So if you need a comfy chair, go to our website, thecomputerclan.com, click that Buy Tech Gear button, and you can click Ken's gear recommendations and buy it through Amazon. We're Amazon associates, so if you buy through Amazon through any of our links, you will be supporting the channel, so thank you very much for that. Also, yes, questions are popping up in the chat. What is going on? Ken, Scott the Magic Man asked Ken, how many Macs do you own? Probably like 30. I've lost track. Greg Rutke from Rutke Mods has like 107, I think. He just did a video about them all. Oh, Midnight, yes. He said, I see you finally took that mirror drive door out of your garage. Yes, I was actually going to do a video about it for Thursday's Krazy Ken episode, but it ended up not like being that exciting. So I took some pictures and some video clips as I set it up, and I'll put that stuff on Patreon and on our YouTube membership. So if you're pledging on our Patreon or supporting us with the YouTube membership, you'll see that bonus stuff. But I'm not going to do anything public with it right now because just nothing really came together. But also, if you haven't joined our channel yet, on mobile, I don't think the button shows up yet. But on desktop, there's a join button below the video. If you go ahead and click that, you see a little window pop up. It's the Computer Clan Insider. You get a whole bunch of cool bonus stuff from us, and you support the channel. So go ahead and click that join button to get some goodies. All right. Mirations asked, have you ever thought about during the live shows of going into dynamic poses? I'm not sure what you mean, but if you want to reiterate, that's cool too. You mean like people say a pose and I just do it? Oh, someone just said it does show up on mobile. Oh, okay. I swear that wasn't there last time. But yeah, there's a join button down there. If you tap it, you get some awesome goodies from us. Basically, it's like, here's the channel. Here's everything on our channel. The join button lets you go behind the channel, and there's like all this other cool exclusive stuff hidden there. Some cool stuff. Hey, IKEA48, thanks for coming to the show. Super Phaser. Super Phaser asks, is that a Space Gray Magic Mouse? If so, why only the mouse and not the keyboard? Excellent question. So I bought this keyboard when it first came out before the Space Gray keyboard existed. I bought the matching white mouse to go with it, again, before the Space Gray mouse existed. My regular white mouse broke, so I bought a replacement, and while I was at it, I thought I might as well get the Space Gray. So it was purchased at a separate time. That's why. Here's the reason why I did not repurchase this keyboard, though. They don't have a Space Gray version of the numpad-less keyboard. So if you want Space Gray, you have to get the one with the numpad. Personally, not a fan. So yeah, that's why the keyboard is still white like me. So, but thank you for asking. Legitimate question. 27 Amzy asks, what's a piece of tech you could not live without? I'm going to sound like a millennial, but my phone. And I'm not saying just because I'm on social media all the time, but that's like so much of my life. All of my health data is like tracked on there and synced with my watch. Family, friends, entertainment, my business, tons of business is just managed and done on my phone or like on my laptop. They sync through the cloud. But yeah, could not live without my phone. I would say probably more important though, my laptop. I could actually probably live without my phone if I just carried around my laptop everywhere, because that I use to actually like make money. Like I actually use that to make the videos that my career is about. So yeah, I'd probably say my laptop or my phone. Yeah. K-A-A-N, Khan, asks, what's your opinion on Gumball? Well, it's my favorite cartoon. It's friggin' love it. I was actually just talking about it yesterday. What Apple Watch do I have? The person asking this, his name is Krazy Ken. Interesting. What Apple Watch do I have? It is a Series 0. It's so old, it was before Apple started giving it a numbering system. That's how old the Apple Watch is. Yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through the chat here, just catching up with some questions and stuff. But yeah, guys, we're basically in the after show right now. Jack was here. He was awesome. He's not here anymore because we wrapped that up. But don't worry, you can always replay the stream later. But for now, we're kind of in the after show, so I'm just doing some Q&A and some tech talk with the lovely audience. So that's what we're doing right now. Thanks for coming out tonight, everybody. I think, yeah, we were, sometimes the analytics refresh and recalculate, but it looks like we're about to hit 1,000 views. Not too shabby. And also, again, thank you so much to MacYak for sponsoring the show tonight. That is another awesome webcast. Go check them out. Links are in the description. I've actually been on a few episodes as well. I think they just had their 70th episode. Favorite tech channel on YouTube? I don't know if I have a favorite. I hate picking favorites with a lot of things, but I do. I'm going to be honest. I'm around tech so much, especially when I'm working on videos themselves. I don't very often just kick back and watch a tech channel. Sometimes, yes. And most recently, that was the 8-Bit Guy. But I really like Snazzy Labs. I like the 8-Bit Guy. Electro Boom, it's a different kind of tech channel. It's more of like an electronics channel and like how electricity works and all that stuff. But I would still say that counts. He's hilarious. I started watching Dank Pods a little bit recently. Again, very funny, just like I like to do. Krazy Ken, you know, I like humor and tech combined together. Dank Pods totally does that. I started watching MKBHD a little bit more recently. And of course, I like Rene Ritchie. I've been watching him on and off since like 2011 on This Week in Tech. He was actually just on our show last week, so go ahead and check out that episode. That was fun. Yeah. Linus Tech Tips, I mean, he's cool. I don't go out of my way to watch him a ton, but I have watched his stuff before, like while doing research for stuff. Absolutely. Heck, one of our video thumbnails actually popped up in one of his videos because he was doing a Google search, and our thumbnail popped up, and some fans messaged me about it. I'm like, holy crap, our thumbnail's in a Linus Tech Tips video. But yeah, recently, Nick from Gear Seekers, I started watching more of his stuff, and his cinematography is pretty cool. Plus, he writes his own music for his build videos. Nick from Gear Seekers. Gear Seekers, check that out. Actually, we might do some collabs soon, so keep an eye out for that. My favorite alcoholic beverage, I don't drink. I'm actually a square teetotal. I'm sorry, I don't drink, but thank you for asking. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, new MacBook Pros came out today. Yep, kind of an incremental update, but still, it's nice that they have 10th gen Intel processors in there. They went back to the, sorry, I'm trying to scoot my chair. They went back to the scissor switch keyboard, not the butterfly crap, so that's good. But yeah, like I said, I think 2021, we're going to start seeing bigger updates to a lot of Apple stuff. So that was a little bit more of an incremental update, but still, very nice update. So that means the MacBook Air and the MacBook Pro 13-inch have been recently updated. So if you're looking for a new Apple laptop that's not the 16-inch, now is a good time to go. If you're looking for an iMac, though, like I am, just hold on for a little bit longer. I just did a video about this, actually. Check it out on our channel about the 2020 iMac. Hold on a little bit longer. Apple's WWDC conference is coming up. We'll probably see something new in June, probably a new iMac or around that time, because it's been over a year since they last updated it. So if you're holding out for an iMac, yes, just hold on a little bit longer. Do I want to go to the Linus Tech Tips Expo? Abso-freaking-lutely. I'd love to go there. I'd love to network. I'd love to meet people. I'm afraid the coronavirus is going to stop that, though. I don't think it's going to happen at this rate, unfortunately. I hope it does, but I'm going to get there one way or another, if it's next year, whatever. But, like, it's canceled so much. Like, I love going to Comic-Cons and stuff. I wanted to go to VidCon. I had a TV taping in Long Beach. All of it has been canceled because of the coronavirus, but, that's just what's going on right now. Like, priorities are a little different. I'm bummed, absolutely. Yes, there's business opportunities I'm missing out on, but there's plenty of ways to make up for that stuff. We'll be okay. But yes, I will totally be going there when I can, and I'd love to meet a bunch of you guys there too. That'd be awesome. Yep, neck is getting a little stiff. I've been sitting for a little too long. You know what? I'm just going to walk around for a bit, and I'm just going to yell really loud so you can hear me on the microphone. Now, typically, I like to walk like every 20 minutes or so, because it's really not healthy to sit for too long. Ooh, yeah. So I recommend that. If you can like stand up every 20 minutes or so, that's great. Oh, it feels so much better. But yeah, when you're live, it's a little tricky. All right. The layer is nice. Isn't this layer nice? I'm very blessed to have even though I'm still 10 stories underground where the air might be poisonous, I'm very blessed to have a nice furnished layer. And I also just realized I don't need my headphones on anymore, so I can take those off. Yeah, just chilling. Also, some of you may have noticed this. I'll show this off like in a future post or something, but a friend of mine made a custom leather pouch with our logo on it, which is freaking sweet. It glows in the dark too, so I'll be showing that off a little more later. Oh yeah, that was very generous of them. Let's see here. JDollXN.M4A asked, what Apple product do you think is the most innovative in terms of how it changed the market? iPhone, hands down. Dude, everything changed when the iPhone came out. Look at the phones before the iPhone and look at the phone market after the iPhone. Literally everything changed. No question. I mean, Apple's done a lot of big stuff, but I would say the iPhone had the biggest impact. I watch TV shows sometimes, like from before 2007, and I'm looking at the phones the characters are using, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's how it was. Hey, Murations, thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it. You have fun. We got to catch up sometime. All right, let's. I'm just catching up on the chat here, guys. Thanks for sticking around. We're just kind of in the after show right now for those who are tuning in. But feel free to rewatch the replay later. We're just kind of doing some AMA and Q&A and just having some fun right now, winding down for tonight. But I do appreciate everyone coming out. Yeah, we still got about like 4 dozen people here. Bird Games, hey, thanks for coming out. You're on our Discord? Hey, that's awesome. I love people on the Discord. As long as they follow the rules and don't act like a dick. Then you're okay in my book. What video games do I play? Honestly, I don't play a lot anymore, but I love Valve games. I loved Portal, Half-Life 2. I liked Watch Dogs. I know that's not Valve, but I still like Watch Dogs. I do want to replay Half-Life 2 on a live stream. I know I've been saying that for years, and I still haven't done it, but I would love to. Think about it. Replaying Half-Life 2 after not having played it in years with, like, the Krazy Ken persona, that would be an awesome live stream, so I'd love to do that. I know we're not a gaming channel, but I like Half-Life 2, so I think that would be just like a fun special stream to do one of these days. My old Mac of choice. You know, I don't know if I really have an old Mac of choice. I used to have my 20th anniversary Mac sitting back there. I replaced it with the Mirror Drive Door G4 for now, but I like the TAM. That thing's pretty slick. The Macintosh TV, because it's Blackintosh. That's pretty sweet. Yeah. Oh, comments and, yeah, Valve programmers leave comments in their stuff all the time, I would imagine. I never really looked those up, but I'm sure there's some fun little messages in there. What iPhone do I use? Griffin Simon. Hey, Griffin. It's an iPhone 11 Pro. I don't know what they call it, space gray or whatever. Yeah. Pretty slick. This thing is pretty awesome. I did a video about it when I first unboxed it, if you want to check that out. But yeah, dude, this thing is... Camera system on here, pretty baller. I like the stainless steel and like the frosted glass. I like how clean the back is. Like, it doesn't have all those like regulatory marks and all that stuff. It's super, super clean. Just very, very beautiful. So pretty. I'm gonna not even bother shoving that back in my pocket right now. You're gonna sit on the desk. Scott the Magic Man asked, what's your thought on Half-Life Alyx? Oh, dude, Half-Life Alyx was awesome. I didn't play it. I don't have a VR system, but I watched people play it. But hey, people do that all the time. It's called sports. And, dude, it was freaking awesome. I'm not going to get into it too much because of spoilers, but, dude, Half-Life Alyx was awesome. I'm super excited for the future of the Half-Life franchise because it feels like Valve is going to be doing more with it, and that makes me so happy. John's Tech Channel. It's not Torches of Fate is not a mobile game yet. If it raises enough funds and enough attention, like, it could be mobile one day, but it's not going to be mobile right now. It's going to be on Steam. It's going to be on Windows, and if it gets a little more attention there, it'll be on Mac and Linux as well. What iPad do I use? Tim Elliott. Sup, Tim? It's an iPad Air 2. Gold, 64 gig, I believe, yep. Yeah, I'm still using an iPad Air 2 because, to be honest, it still does everything I need it to do. I haven't updated my iPad in forever. Apple Watch, it's still the original Apple Watch, you know. Oh, your friend got a black book yesterday? Yeah, the black MacBooks are pretty sweet. I remember when I was young and I saw those in the Apple store, my hair is starting to lose the gel. I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, can we get a black MacBook, please? Those are so cool. Honestly, if I were to get a new MacBook Pro, though, I'd probably get silver because everyone's doing space gray now. No, it's too mainstream, so now I'd probably just stick with silver. I actually saw a silver like MacBook Pro with a touch bar, like when it was new. I saw it and I'm like, whoa, what the heck? Because I'm so used to seeing space gray everywhere, so the silver actually looked kind of cool. Upload, yes. Pi Caruso, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. I heard about Upload. I saw that it was on Prime Video. I've heard good things about it. It looked intriguing. I don't have Prime Video yet, but Yeah, it looked promising from the very little that I saw, though. He says the first episodes are not so great. I mean, yeah, a lot of times the first episodes really aren't so great. So if you watch a new show and you don't like the first episode, do me a favor, watch like the next two at least with an open mind. Give it at least like two more. If you still don't like it after that time, whatever. And you know what? It's happened for me, like where I will watch a season of a show and then like the next season starts off weak and then I'll stop watching it. But then I'll get back into it and be like, wow, why did I stop watching it? You know, it happens. It's nothing personal, TV show, just life decisions at the time. But yeah, that's happened with The Mentalist, one of my all-time favorite TV shows ever. The Mentalist. That's what happened. But I got back into it, and I loved watching it. I looked forward to it every time it was on the air. I would like sweat while watching it because some parts were so intense. Have I watched House MD? Yeah, Josh. Well, yeah, of course. Not a ton. It's funny. I was actually just rewatching Scrubs a bunch recently, which is like a comedic House MD. But yeah, House is pretty cool. I haven't watched it a lot, but I do like House. I gotta be careful with how much I talk. I'm still recovering from this like chest thing. I don't know. I hope it wasn't Corona, but yeah, I've been sick for a couple months, but getting there, feeling better. Getting there, man. Keeping the hopes high. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Any questions you have for me? Any tech things you want to talk about? I'm here. I got like no other plans right now, so I'm just kind of chilling in the after show right now. Feel free to, if you have any questions or anything you want to talk about, just let me know. I'm just keeping my eyes on the chat room here. Robert says, oh, you love the vids. Well, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Oh, by the way, since we're here, Thursday. So, little known fact. Not many people know this. They probably know. If you're on Patreon or on our YouTube membership, you might know this. But publicly, not a lot of people know this. There are some Krazy Ken episodes that were never finished. I like to call them the lost episodes. I revisited one recently and actually cut I've received some good feedback so far, a rather comedic video out of it. So on Thursday, you're going to get to see a lost episode of Krazy Ken's Tech Misadventures. It was actually shot back in November. But I showed it to some people. I got some great feedback. I was actually surprised that people liked it that much. So keep your eyes peeled. Thursday at 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. Central Time, you'll get to see a lost Krazy Ken episode. Booyah. Shot in November, finished up like 2 days ago. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that on Thursday. $27 Amsey says the stream's not working well for him. I'm sorry. Well, you've been here a long time. I do appreciate you watching. Raw Elements asks, when's the TAM video coming out? Yeah, that's still... I wanted to make it a special thing, but I don't know if it's going to happen right now, especially with traveling issues and crap. Yeah, things are getting... I'll be honest. Some ideas I had are getting kind of shuffled around. We're still doing our best to get weekly stuff out, and we're doing these live streams now, too. But yeah, that... I don't know when yet. It'll be cool when it happens, but I just don't know when yet. Oh, Andy says the upcoming video is pure gold. And since you have a membership badge next to your name, I'm guessing that's how you saw it. So I'm glad you like it. That's awesome. Yeah, it was an idea I had back in November. I started editing it, and I was like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. But then I was like, you know what? I should finish this up. And I did. And now that's what's going to come out on Thursday. What do I use to stream, Wyatt Jones? Hey, what's up? I use Open Broadcaster. It's pretty sweet. It's not really optimized for this like older computer running Mac OS. That's actually why I'm in 720p right now. I can't really even push 1080 with this system, but it is a 6.5-year-old laptop. So once I get a faster system, we should be able to stream at higher resolution. But OBS is pretty cool. It's free. It's open source. It's pretty awesome. Gamer Reviewer Time says, are we currently doing Q&A right now or waiting for the designer? Oh, we're just in Q&A right now. Actually, we just had an awesome like hour and 20-minute interview and demo with the designer, Jack. So feel free to rewatch that if you want. I highly recommend it. But right now, we're just doing Q&A as like a little after show type thing. But yeah, Jack was here. It was awesome. He was great. But yeah, you can always watch the rerun. And also, our next stream... Oh, so like here's the plan. So Thursday, I already said Krazy Ken Lost episode. You're going to get that on Thursday. Then Tuesday, if all goes according to plan, I'd love to get a Tech Talk episode about the new version of Windows. You know, there's that new version of Windows coming out soon, and there's some cool new features, so I wanted to do a cool video covering that. I've noticed people are like watching my older Windows 10 videos a lot more lately because, you know, it's trending, even though those videos are from like years ago. So it's like, yeah, I need to do a new video with the new features of Windows 10. So yeah, if all goes according to plan, that should be on Tuesday, not tomorrow, but next Tuesday. And then that Thursday, we're going to be live again. I'm going to be live with Bradley Olson, who is the director of Off the Tracks, a documentary about Final Cut Pro 10. Final Cut Pro is Apple's professional video editing software. But I tell you, when that came out, there was a lot of drama, and there was enough drama to make a movie about it. So he made a documentary. It's really awesome. He's an awesome guy. We've talked before, and now he's going to be on the show. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday. So keep your eyes peeled for that. More Computer Clan Live coming your way. That should be fun. Oh my gosh. Tech God asks, any plans to bring back Krazy Ken's Tech Misadventures Live? Yeah, I'm going to do more. It never really went away. It's just I only do it periodically. But yeah, there's a couple projects piling up that would be great for Krazy Ken Live. So yeah, Krazy Ken's Tech Misadventures Live. Keep your eyes peeled for that. JDollXN asks, how do you get the Computer Clan badge next to your name? Excellent question. If you join the Computer Clan channel membership, you get a bunch of awesome goodies, and one of those is you get our badge next to your name. And the cool thing is, the longer you're remembered, the more shiny it gets. Like, it'll turn silver, and then it will turn gold. It's pretty sweet. So, excuse me. If you're looking at us on desktop, people are saying it's showing up on mobile now, but there should be like a blue join button, like a big blue square join button below the video. Go ahead and click that, and that's how you can get the badge next to your name and some other good stuff. If you don't see it on mobile, I think it's still just refreshing because it's new. Go ahead and check us out on desktop. Just go to our channel, go to any of our videos, click the big blue join button, and boom! You can get some cool stuff and that badge next to your name as well. Plus, you're supporting the Computer Clan, so thank you. I just winked. Was that weird? I want to watch the recording. Let's see how weird that was. It wasn't too weird. Just a little weird. Let's see. Raw Element said, are you implementing a hint of foreshadowing by replacing the TAM with the Quicksilver? Oh, yeah. No. I just wanted to put something different back here. The TAM has been back there like ever since I moved into this new layer. I just wanted to put the Quicksilver back there. I think it looks cool. That Quicksilver looks... Wait, sorry. It's not a Quicksilver. It's a mirror drive door. Yeah, this thing is pretty sweet. But yeah, I'm just going to scoot. Hang on. Oh, I can't do it. There you go. It's a mirror drive door model. Yes, I'd love to say hello to your friend. I'm sorry if I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, though, but Gianmarco? Did I say that right? I'm a stupid American. I'm so sorry. I'm not culturally aware. Will I do a video on Apple's biggest failures? I mean, maybe. I think the Apic guy and Snazzy Labs have done some decent stuff on that. Yeah, I might. I'm still putting together some cool topics for Krazy Ken's Tech Talk episodes. I have some good stuff I started like drafting up months ago, but then I kept finding more and more cool things I want to do instead. So they're kind of like on the billboard. You know, we'll get back to them later. Put a pin in it. The G5 has better looking insides. Oh yeah, the G5 is... that's older. That's understandable. You know, the G5 is got good looking insides. Can I do a video about the Mac modding community? I mean, in theory I could, but watch like Greg Rutke from Rutke Mods. You know, he's got mods. You know, freaking DOS Dude does that stuff. You know, they're a little more versed in that. I show some of that stuff on my Vintage Apple Vault series. It was like a 7-episode special YouTube series. I do show modded stuff, I think, every so often. I showed a lot of prototypes too. Maybe if I was doing YouTube full-time, it'd be cool to do like a documentary about the Macintosh modding community. Yeah, but I'm not doing YouTube full-time yet. So we'll see. But yeah, any other questions anybody has, feel free to let me know. I'm just kind of hanging around for a bit. I do have to do something, which some people in the video industry call a 10-1. So I will be right back. What'd I miss? Did the chair move? Just kidding. Yeah, I'm just going to catch up with the chat here. Yeah, thanks for letting me take a quick break. That was very necessary. It was good. Oh my gosh, water is amazing. The person who invented water must be just rolling in like royalties. Oh my gosh. If you guys are just tuning in, oh my gosh, thank you for coming out to the show tonight. The main portion of the show already happened, so feel free to, after the show ends, go ahead and give it a rewatch. The whole replay is available on YouTube for you to watch. No problemo. But since the main portion is done, Jack was great, but he's gone right now. I'm just kind of hanging out here doing some Q&A, AMA, tech talk. We're just hanging out, just having a good time. So let's keep the party going. My watch just tapped me. Oh, Tyler McVicker is playing custom Half-Life Alyx content. Ooh, sweet. I should reach out to him again. I'd like to have him on the show. I think that'd be freaking baller. The guy is awesome. Yes, Roberts, thank you so much for the compliment. I do appreciate it. Will there be a Color Classic video in the future? Actually, Raw Elements, go ahead and watch Vintage Apple Vault Episode 3. It was all about the Color Classic, and it also featured This Does Not Compute. Colin from This Does Not Compute. Freaking awesome guy, great like videography. Yeah, Vintage Apple Vault Episode 3 was all about the Color Classic. Give it a watch, it was awesome. Dude, it won a Bronze Telly Award, like a nice, awesome statuette. It freaking won a Telly for cinematography, so you know it's good. Go ahead and check it out. Do I have any Commodore stuff? Yes, actually sitting, I'm gonna see if I can line my finger up. Right up there, almost, there we go. That's a Commodore 64, and that's a 1541. I don't have any videos about them yet, but they're just kind of chilling in the background. It was cool to see I'm just thinking about the 8-Bit guy now. I did film some stuff with him, and we'll get some videos out in the future, I promise. But yeah, one of my favorite things to see at his place was the black Bell and Howell Apple II. He did a good video on that. It was cool to see that in person. I think that was the first time I saw... No, that wasn't the first time I saw Bell and Howell Apple II in person, I don't think, but I saw his in person, and that made it special. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Any other questions? Anything? I'm just chilling, just hanging out here. I know people were asking about the stickers earlier. Yeah. This was just a test batch. I might give some away. I might sign them and give them away or something. I don't know yet. But it was kind of just a test batch. There's only 10 in existence. But, like, we'll probably sell them online later maybe. And, you know, if you come to our booth at, like, tech conventions and stuff, we'll have them with, like, our website on them and stuff like that. I do plan to be at Vintage Computer Festival Midwest. I was there last year. So was Clint from LGR and the Apic guy. It was an awesome time. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with the coronavirus going on. I don't even know if it's going to happen this year. I really want it to because it's an amazing time. But, ooh, this virus is canceling everything. They're releasing a press release soon, which, oh, I'm not expecting it to be good news, but we'll see. Yeah, let's see here. What else is going on in the chat? Blackintosh, see you later. Do I know any programming? Oh boy, I don't. I'm not a programmer. You would not want me programming something. Math and logic are really not my strong suit. But if you want me doing design, I can do that. Or I can make a video about your app. That's what people hire me for. They hire me for video stuff. That's what I do. Oh, on May 5th, tomorrow, Discord turns 5 years old. Really? Is that so? Look at that. Enzo, what is up? What is going on? Man, we still have like 45 people hanging out here. This is just the after show, and there's still like 4 dozen people just hanging out here in the chat. Well, that's totally cool. We actually did get a few super chats tonight. I know I always can't see them as easily while I'm doing, you know, all of this stuff at once. So I'm sorry if I missed them, but I do appreciate those super chats very, very much. My favorite Mac? Oh man, I really like the TAM. I really like the Mac TV. I have a Mac 128K, like an original Mac on its way, but I think, you know, the whole COVID situation is delaying that stuff, so. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. My neck is like getting a little stiff. Not as bad as it was last time, but yeah, I have an original Mac coming, but not here yet. Sorry. I'm excited to play with that though. Let me just check the telephone. Okay, doesn't look like I missed anything super important. Let's see here. Yeah, that's right. I was going to update a thing on Twitter, but I ran out of time and I never got back to it. Yeah, I kind of blew that. I'll just do this for now, fix that up, and do a bit of this. Twitter. Oh, Sorry, I'm just like talking to myself now as I go through all my open tabs. Yeah, see you, Blackintosh. Peace out. Oh, you studied assembly for the 8086 and the 68K. Ooh. Pretty sweet. Superphaser asks, what Mac do you recommend I acquire first for a vintage Mac collection? A lot of people say a Mac SE. And I would agree. Mac SEs are pretty cool because they're kind of flexible. You can mod them. You can put upgrade cards in them. You can put... Random lip smack. Sorry about that. You can put like 2 floppy drives in them, or you can put 1 hard drive and 1 floppy drive in them. You know, and they're kind of abundant, so they're not too much money, but they still have that like kind of somewhat original compact Mac look. But you get all that flexibility. and it's not too expensive. So a Mac SE or a Mac SE 30 is kind of like the more beefy version. Go ahead and pick one of those up. Actually, I have one. You probably can't see it, but it's like right below there. Take my word for it. It's right there. You just can't see it right now. Yeah, he's chilling down there. Ah, what the hell? Let's just... There we go. What you got to do is you got to get yourself one of these. This is a Mac SE. Now, this one had two 800K floppy drives in it, so what I did, with the help of my daddy, I did this a long time ago, wasn't very good with tools, still am not, we took one of the floppy drives out and put a hard drive in, but we kind of had to break a little bit of the cage because the hard drive wouldn't fit in the floppy drive cage. The hard drive I had just would not fit. So we had to break things a little bit, sorry. But yeah, now there's like a gigabyte hard drive in here. Still works. Even the clock battery works. You turn it on, it's set to the wrong date, but it remembers the date and the time. I'm very impressed because this is from like 1987. So you need a little bit of a dusting. But yeah, this thing is pretty awesome. Built-in handle, of course, on top because it's an Apple product. You gotta have a handle. Let's kind of put you on the floor for now. But yeah, if you want to start a Mac collection, I say get yourself a Mac SE. And if you want to go even further, Google these guys, Mac Effects. Google them right now, Mac EFFECTS. They sell translucent cases for the Mac SE and I think the Apple II as well. So if you want your Mac SE to look transparent or translucent, just like the prototypes did, you can get one of their cases as well. I was actually in touch with, I think Mark was like their sales guy. He actually offered to fly out here and like do a demo on Krazy Ken. We should probably make that happen still. I think their mod works better with the SE, though. I have to check with him on that. But yeah, I would love to make that happen, especially now, because flying is, like, really cheap. Dude, airfare is, like, half price right now. Probably less. So, there you go. Mac SE and Mac Effects. Go look up Mac Effects. Apparently the hard drives can fail at some point. Are you talking about for the SE? I mean, I got a really old hard drive in there. It's still working. But yeah, if the drive fails, take it out, put one in. You can replace them. You just got to have a long enough torque. I think it's a T something. Look it up on iFixit. I think it's like a T something. But it has to be long enough because the screws to open up the case are like in the handle. So like here's the handle. Way deep in here are like the torque screws, so you need a really long driver to get in there and undo that to open up the case. But once the case is open, yeah, do whatever. Discharge of the CRT though. I mean, CRT rules apply. There's a CRT in there. Don't shock yourself. If you click the join button, there's a confirmation screen. But yeah, you pay right away. Super simple, super cheap, super quick, and then you get all the bonus benefits right away. There's no like waiting period or anything. You pay, and you get all the stuff right away. Hey, that rhymes. Yeah, I think it's worth it. Yeah, super cheap, awesome stuff. You can even check it out on our channel. There's like a list of member-only videos. You can like see what you can get. There's like a teaser list right there, but that's just a little bit. You also get the badge next to your name. You get behind-the-scenes photos and videos. You also get early access. So like the Lost episode, the Krazy Ken Lost episode coming out on Thursday, that was already available to the YouTube members and patrons like yesterday or 2 days ago. So you get early access to episodes in addition to member-only videos that don't get posted publicly, in addition to the badge, in addition to other behind-the-scenes stuff that doesn't get posted publicly. You get a lot of cool benefits. And if you want to take it further, like if you want to get your name in the show credits that pop up on the screen, we even have a Patreon that has even more awesome perks if you want to get those too. So check it out. Yeah, click that join button. You get some good goodies from us, and you get you're supporting the channel as well. Another cool thing is if you join during a live stream, actually a big green banner pops up with your name in it. I think that's pretty sweet. So if you join during a live show, the chat actually goes like it like shows a big green banner. It's pretty sweet. All right, well, Starting to cough. Yeah, I had a feeling that might happen. Oh, you're going to get the membership tomorrow. Hey, well, I really appreciate it. Because it also supports the channel, so thank you so much. Yep, starting to cough a little bit. Yeah, that's bound to happen. Still fighting off whatever is in here. Oh, man, I'm just catching up on the chat here since I was talking about the Mac SE for a while. I probably missed a few things. Someone put an emoji. Oh, Hunter put an emoji of hand sanitizer. That's nice. Hey, Sid, what is up? New subscriber, awesome. I love new viewers. I love new subscribers. If any of you are new here, oh my gosh, thank you for coming out. We post new tech videos every Thursday at 3 o'clock, but sometimes we do extra things too, like we do a live stream on Monday, tonight, or, you know, our Windows 10 video is going to be out next Tuesday. It's like we do bonus stuff too. But yeah, you get at least one awesome thing every week. And you get even more if you join the channel and unlock all those perks. But yeah, if you're new here, so not obligated to do that. Feel free to peruse around. We got some great stuff on our channel. Actually, one thing I did recently for new viewers, I have a playlist called Starter Pack. So if you're new to the channel, the Starter Pack playlist is like the place to go to. I just put some of my favorite videos in there, and you can go check those out. They're pretty freaking awesome, and I hope you stick around. Oh, you turn on the bell too? Nice. Turning on the bell is sweet because then the YouTube app or email, whatever notification preferences you have, they just send you a little notification like, hey, Krazy Ken is live or Computer Clan is live, you know, or they uploaded a new video, you know. The notifications are pretty awesome, so yeah, go ahead and ring that bell. Subscribe and ring the bell. Ding. Done. Favorite Linux distro? I don't really have one personally. I feel like I probably should have done a video about the new version of Ubuntu that just came out. Maybe I still will, because those tend to get a lot of views. I should do more of those. Yeah, I like Linux stuff. I like learning about it, but I'm not like a Linux junkie. So sorry, I don't really have a favorite. Can I ship autographs? Absolutely. Actually, sometimes on Patreon, I do like send out signed stuff as a reward, as like a membership perk. But yeah, like if you want to request something, sure, we can arrange that. I can absolutely sign stuff and send it off. Viet Fan asks, where is your income from? It's from YouTube, freelance work, video work. It's pretty much all video related. I'm working to make YouTube full time though. Talking with some people on how to make that possible. So yeah, that's a work in progress. Oh yeah, because if I can make this full time, dude, I can make so much more awesome stuff for you guys more frequently. The main people ask me this, like, can you do more than one video a week? Sometimes we do. Sometimes we do a video and a live stream a week. Sometimes we do 2 videos a week, but like it's not normal. Usually we do like 1 video a week, and the reason is, well, like I'm still balancing a lot of other stuff. But if I can make this work full time, that's the goal. Then I can make a lot more good stuff for you guys. So let's make that happen. Just reading the chat room here, see what else is popping up. Oh man, the viewership is going up now. We're in the after show and viewership is still going up. That's pretty sweet. I should probably make an after show graphic so people, like new people, don't think my name is Jack, because that's what's in the title down there. If you're just tuning in, we're in the after show. We had Jack, the game designer of Torches of Fate, an upcoming RPG. He was on here. He did an awesome like demo and everything. You can check it out on the replay later. But right now we're kind of in an after show mode where we're just doing like an AMA and some tech talk. So yeah, thanks for coming out. Should probably update that title down there with something else. I should hit up Photoshop and get that fixed for next time. Just a graphic that says after show. Hey Carson, thanks for the super chat. I really appreciate it. You are awesome. How much money do I get from memberships? Not a ton yet, because YouTube does take 30%. But also, we just started it. It's new. We've only been doing it for like 2-3 weeks. Oh, excuse me. Shit. Why does water make you burp? What is wrong with you? Holy crap. Apologize for that. I saw a good question. There it is. JDollXN asks, what do you like most about macOS that isn't on Windows? Honestly, it's a laundry list, and that's why I use Mac OS. But Windows still has its strong suits. Like, oh my gosh, if you want to get into gaming, if you want to have like a dedicated streaming machine, like build a Windows system. Don't even bother with a Mac. But you know, for everything I do, I think the Mac just works better for me. But Windows does things really well too. Hell, I used Windows as a daily driver for years before I switched back to the Mac. And in my professional life, I use a Mac for editing. My workstation is a Mac system with Premiere and Final Cut Pro. But my media server is Gen 2 based. And my reference system for live broadcasting is Windows based. I use all three. Because I think as a professional, that's a good thing to do. You don't get butthurt over using a different operating system. So, they're all good. They all have awesome features. They all have sucky features, you know? Like, nothing's perfect. I like the Mac, but nothing's perfect. Like, my Time Machine backups, that awesome built-in backup feature, I've, like, never had a problem with it. And all of a sudden, it just won't work anymore. I even reformatted the backup drive, and it just will not back up my computer anymore. It'll get to, like, 20 gigabytes and then just stop. So, you know, nothing's perfect. What machine do I edit on mainly? I have an iMac Pro at another office that I use a lot of the time, probably more than half the time, and then my 15-inch MacBook Pro, which I'm actually using to stream to you guys right now, is what I use to edit everything else. So, pretty sweet. I do announce streams with YouTube posts. Yes, I do that. Mm-hmm. Hey, William, what is up? Yeah, you guys are amazing. The viewership is like going up during the after show. That's cray cray. Emails. Oh yeah, there's a few of those in the notification center. I'm just gonna close that for now. Yeah, they still don't have community posts in the iPad app. So honestly, I just use the web interface on iPad. It all works on the iPhone though, which is pretty sweet. But yeah, I'm glad we had Jack on the show. That was fun. I remember we first had that conversation like back in March. So I'm glad it happened. I was like, this is a perfect timing because I'm planning to bring my live show back. And here we are now in May. Boom, went live. I had a late lunch and like a snack before I live streamed, but I have not had dinner yet. And eating late is I don't think that's the best thing for your digestive system. But I might have to do that. Such is life. All right, enough of that for now. Checking in on the chat room. What is up, guys? Am I going to do more Vintage Apple Vault? The thing is, Vintage Apple Vault was like a limited run series, and it was good. Like, I'm glad it worked, but I'm probably not going to do more of that show. But will I still cover Vintage Apple products? Will I still travel to people's collections? Will I still dive into the history of that stuff? Abso-freaking-lutely. But I'm probably going to do it more in the Krazy Ken's Tech Talk format with like the Krazy Ken branding, because I think, you know, that's what's really recognizable. That's where the channel is moving. That's more consistent. So it's going to be like integrated into that show. It is. But it's still going to be freaking awesome. And it might be a slightly tweaked version of that format for the Vintage Apple product stuff. I haven't figured that out yet. But yeah, I do want to do more of that just with the Krazy Ken universe. I think that just fits the brand and the consistency more. Oh, man. Oh, I'm yawning. Well, it makes sense. It is getting late. Yeah, I do want to do some more PC stuff. I have some stuff sitting in my garage that I just haven't really pulled out yet. And I want to do like the Commodore 64 up there, you know. Yeah, I want to do more PC stuff as well. Like I've done plenty of non-Apple stuff, but yes, there is a bit of an Apple lean. But you know, that's my brand. I like it. It's just what I lean toward. But I do like doing other stuff. You know, heck, the video this Thursday is not Apple related, and the video on Tuesday, the Windows 10 May 2020 update video is not, you know, Apple at all. So yeah, we got some good stuff coming up. See you, Gavin. He says, bye, I'm leaving. Why are you leaving? Are you, what? No, don't go. I'll give you a sticker. Just stay. I'm hypnotizing you. Just stay. Woo. Kidding. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Everybody is gonna make like screenshots of that now and GIF and like content aware scale my face and everything. Yep, I know what's happening. It's gonna happen. I was going to have my Discord logged in so my status was at the top of the server so people would know I was live, but yeah, I tried reopening it while the stream was going and it would just not launch. It just kept sticking on the like spinning screen. So I kind of botched that. Oh yeah, the last time you opened Discord, it was force quit. No shit. Well, I'll open it again and see if it explodes. I think the announcement still went out on Discord, though. That should have happened. Yep. Okay, so that did go out. I don't really know how to answer your question, Adam, about a 2080 Ti $1,000 budget. I'm not... You know, if Nick from Gear Seekers was here, he could probably tell you. I don't build PCs. I'm sorry. I really don't know off the top of my head. Oh, sorry. I did not play the OG Doom. I'm sorry. I know that's probably like a sin. I have not played Doom. Go ask Jiraga or LGR. I don't think a 2013 MacBook Pro is that expensive, honestly. Those are older systems. You can probably get them for kind of cheap. But yeah, they'll run Final Cut Pro just fine. As long as you're not, like... If you're at 1080p, you're fine. But if you start going into 4K workflows, that's where things start really slowing down. I don't, Picroso, I don't have a Nintendo Switch. I'm sorry. I don't. A lot of my friends do. Especially now. Getting Animal Crossing launched during this pandemic. That was genius. Don't know how they did that. Maybe Nintendo released the virus. Sage, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining the chat room. He said, super late, but I'm here. Yes, you are. Also, nice Power Mac G4 MDD in the background. Yes. Well, thank you very much. I'll put some bonus content out on Patreon and on the YouTube membership about that soon, because I was going to make a video about it over the weekend, but it ended up not working so well. But I still got some cool pictures and some other clips and stuff I'll just kind of make some bonus material out of. Exclusive stuff. The dust intake on that thing. Oh yeah, that was full of dust. I still have all the like cleaning supplies there because I was going to get a shot of like all the dirty cleaning supplies, but the video probably isn't going to happen, so I don't even know if I'll do that. I should probably clean that stuff up. It's pretty gross. There was a lot of dust. I bet the intake was never cleaned. I'm sure it's not as bad as what some other people have seen, but the dust was thick. There was probably like at least an inch layer of dust in there. Dust and hair. Oh yeah, that was beautiful. Freaking amazing. Just want to eat that up so good. Hey David, what's up? The iMac Pro, it was a 128 gigs of RAM, 2 terabyte SSD, 14 core Xeon. Yeah. And remember, that was released a couple years ago. If Apple did a new iMac Pro, it would probably be way better. But yeah, it's still a pretty beefy system. My favorite car I've owned, they were all Jaguars, so it's hard to pick. I like them all. Yeah, I do like those. How old am I? Let's play a game. How old do you think I am? It's always fun to play that. How old do you think I am? Super Phaser asks, would I recommend a MacBook Air for someone who does word processing and video editing? Video editing, possibly. It depends on how much you're really doing. If you use Final Cut Pro or iMovie, those tend to run a bit better because they're more optimized for the Apple hardware. If you're going to do a lot more video editing, I'd say get a Pro. But you could get by with an Air if you don't expect like ground earth-shattering like playback and rendering speed. So we got 35, 29, 29, 26, 29, 32, 25, 28, 21. Only one of you got it. A lot of people think I'm 35. Oh, that's interesting. A lot of people were over. Usually people are under. I'm surprised. Only one of you got it, though. I appreciate... This is fun. I like doing this stuff. Of course, no hard feelings at all. But no, it's... yeah, only one of you guys got it. I'm amused by that. 32, huh? I mean, yeah. I know people that look like younger than me who are older than me. I get it. It happens. If I don't shave for like 3 days, though, this is like all whiskers and fuzz. The hair just grows really fast on my face. But I shave every time before I go on camera. I do not like hair on my face. I just don't. Excuse me. If you're not aware, I'm still recovering from like walking pneumonia or whatever it technically is. There was no official diagnosis because the blood work on that takes about a week. M. Medina asked, does anybody know how much money people make on YouTube? Well, it runs the gamut. It depends on what you do, and there's a lot to it. You know, there's sponsorships, product integrations, affiliate programs, ad revenue, crowdfunding. There's so many different ways to make money by using YouTube as like your core, you know. It can run the gamut, absolutely. And that's why I'm talking with Nick from Gear Seekers. He's experienced. His YouTube channel is growing fast, and he does it full time, so... Yeah. I like how some people are still guessing the age thing. Still, only one of you guys got it. That was fun. That was really fun. I love guessing games, don't you? Now guess what color my skin is. This is all color corrected, by the way. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm white and I know it. Favorite game genre? I don't really play a lot of games, honestly. I don't even think I don't think I could say. When was the last time I even played a game? Like, I play Jackbox games. I don't know if that counts. Those are fun party games, but don't know if that counts. Oh, man, Hunter, you did a thing with my stickers? Oh, you already, like, screen recorded that? Nice. Thanks for putting that in the Discord. Bless you, sir. Yeah, Jackbox is fun. I think we need to do some of that stuff on our live show. We need to, like Brent used to do that stuff with us. We should bring in some, like, Jackbox game nights on Computer Clan Live. We used to do some of that stuff, like, back in the day, but it's been a while. I think that'd be, like, a fun thing to do every so often. Because, like, we're not a gaming channel, but I think doing games like that are, you know, that's a fun way to interact with the audience, right? Wow, we still have, like, 4 people here. Like, you guys are persistent. This 15-inch MacBook Pro has a 2.6 gigahertz quad-core Intel Core i7, NVIDIA GeForce GT 750M, 512 gigabyte SSD, 16 gigs of RAM. Yeah, I mean, it's a 6.5-year-old laptop, but it has kicked ass. Hey, Leonard, what is my favorite software on the shelf behind me? I mean, they're all pretty awesome. Shake. Does anyone remember Shake? Apple Shake? I bet most people don't, and actually that's why I want to do a video about it. There's a lot of history there because it existed as something before Apple acquired it, but and then they killed it off. But yeah, that's gonna be a fun video. I've been teasing it in the background there. I think hardly anybody really knows what Shake is, but it was an Apple product for quite a while. So yeah, I'd like to do a tech talk about that. Oh yeah, Hunter, I'm totally doing a video on Shake. Abso-freaking-lutely. Oh yeah. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Oh man, I should probably wrap up soon. It's getting late. I still haven't even had like a proper dinner tonight. Oh boy. But I love doing this. This is so much fun. But I also don't really want to like eat dinner in front of you guys. That might be weird. I forgot to buy mustard. I can't make a sandwich without mustard. Why? I went grocery shopping and forgot to buy the mustard. What the heck? There's probably nothing open right now to sell me a bottle of mustard because of the pandemic going on. Is mustard an essential business? An essential worker? But yeah, last call. Anything you guys want to talk about? I appreciate you guys coming out to the show tonight, and I appreciate you guys supporting Jack and indie game development. It's freaking amazing, man. Oh, dude, favorite SpongeBob episode. I like a lot of the older episodes, absolutely, but Delta just messaged me, "Good morning. What are you talking about, you dick?" Beater mode. Yes. Oh, dude. But I'd have to say my favorite is Band Geeks. Band Geeks was not just a masterpiece for SpongeBob, but just a cartoon television masterpiece, period. Band Geeks was so good. It's probably also like one of the most like referenced, I think it is the most like referenced classic episode of SpongeBob. Yeah, there's some newer moments and like the imagination meme and all that stuff also came from another great classic episode, but I think Band Geeks is referenced a lot. Is mayonnaise an instrument? That's like a huge running gag. Even to this day, like 20 years later, it's still a running gag. Hilarious, dude. Band Geeks, best SpongeBob episode in my opinion. I really like the Idiot Box as well. That's where the imagination meme is from. Oh man. Sage, Shake can relate to movies being printed on film. Yeah, it can relate to fully digital stuff though too. But yeah, it is older. It is older. Whoa, NGR just said stop ignoring me. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Don't spam the chat though. Okay, you're spamming the chat. Well, you got your attention now, but just a heads up, if you want to spam and flood stop ignoring me, well, you're going to get your wish. You're not going to be ignored anymore, but you're also going to get... So don't do that. Also, if you are doing that, seriously, like, how old are you? Seriously, I don't think you should be even in this chat room right now. Come on, don't be annoying, don't be immature, don't break the rules, don't spam, don't flood. How did they do that anyway? Didn't we have slow-mo mode on? How did they message so quickly? Like, wasn't there like a 5-second delay set? I don't know how they did that. You broke through like the laws of space and time. That was impressive, but you also got the kick hammer for that. Not a band hammer, just a kick. So yeah, don't do that. Don't be an idiot. How old is Apple? They had their birthday on April 1st. Let's see, they were founded in 1976. So, 24, they're 44. They're 44 years old. Oh, yeah. But yeah, anything else, guys? I know I've said that a few times, but a bunch of you are still here, so I'm still here. Blackintosh, welcome back. Yeah, of course we're still going. I'm kind of just... This is just the after show, you know? I really should make a new graphic for, like, the title that says after show. Yes, I am not Jack. I'm Ken. But, yeah, we're just kind of doing some after show stuff. Pardon my, sniffles. Hey, Tin John! Subscriber since 2013. Oh, heck yeah. You've been around a long-ass time. Dude, appreciate it. 7 years, man. Superphaser asked, why is the Apple One and the Apple III so rare? Well, the Apple III wasn't manufactured for very long. There were some failures with it. Actually, in the upcoming video that I did with the 8-Bit guy, we actually talk about the Apple III a little bit and why it had some hardware problems. But as for the Apple One, it's rare because, okay, there's a difference between rare and valuable. This one is both. It is rare and valuable because, one, it was the first computer Apple ever made. Two, Apple became a really, really big-ass famous company, and that was their first computer, so it's going to get a lot of value, right? But also three, there were only like a couple hundred ever made. And four, it's really old. So the odds of you finding one that's in like really good condition and that's operational, you know, that adds the value, that drums up the value. So because it's older, it's from a big famous company, it was their first computer, and not many of them were ever made. That is why they are very valuable and rare, and they're expensive. You see them go at auction for like easily $500,000. Good stuff. Okay, it looks like he came back with an unknown account, and he kept saying, stop ignoring me. Are you serious? What? Are you, like, for real? Dude, nobody likes people like you. Don't spam and flood chat rooms. Dude, that is... How do people not get that? I get it. I was a kid once on the internet, too. Not a whole lot. I didn't use social media and stuff until I got older, but, like, I was still on YouTube. I never did that shit, though. Seriously, guys, come on. We rarely get that here, so I'm sorry, guys, who were just trying to enjoy the chat room if you had to endure that BS, but we rarely get that. But when we do get it, it's just like, what? I'm kind of putting my dad pants on and being like, now, son, don't do that. Jeez. Desperate people. Do something else with your life. Build low-income housing or something. The world doesn't revolve around you. But, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's been proven false by a lot of physicists. Yeah. Good times. Moving on. What's up, guys? What's next? It is getting late. Oh, this is gonna be weird. Yeah, Top Gear Grand Tour. Yeah, actually, I was just watching Grand Tour with Brent, because he has an Amazon Prime account. Yeah, I just watched the like one-off where they did the boat episode. That was fun. I really liked how like they kind of shook up the format a bit and didn't do like the live studio audience stuff anymore, which I was still cool with. But I like how they did like more of a story with like a journey. They were traveling and exploring more, and they were boating across all these places. I really liked that episode. I thought that was put together really well. And you know, the hosts' chemistry and like the way they interact is always amazing. Yeah, they do a good job. Good stuff. Yeah, how many accounts do you have, dude? Oh my gosh, you're back again? Seriously, dude? Come on. Dude, just, you know, let's just stop giving him attention altogether. Wow. Oh, it makes me want to cry with amusement. Oh, freaking, like, dude, get these kids out of the chat room. Like, what the hell are you doing? All right, we should probably wrap up here soon. I don't really want to, but I do have stuff I got to get done tomorrow, and eating is also a thing I like to do. But I also like doing this. It's hard to stop because you guys are fun. It's really hard to stop. Let's see here. Oh, wow, the average watch time has actually gone up by about 60% during the after show. That's interesting. So like after the main portion of the show ended, we had like a 60% increase of average watch time. That's pretty cool. My oldest iPhone, I have an iPhone 3G. I currently have an OG that a friend loaned to me that I really should have returned to him by now, but my video schedule kind of got changed. But yeah, I do have that sitting in my office, but it's not mine. Sorry, friend, if you're watching. I did confirm with him if it's okay if I hold on to it for longer. He said yes. All right, guys. Well, I think it's time to go for tonight. But you guys are awesome. Okay, so remember, Thursday, Krazy Ken, the lost episode. There's 3 of them, but I'm releasing one on Thursday. One that was shot back in November and never finished until now. So keep your eyes peeled for that on Thursday. Then on Tuesday, the Tuesday after that Thursday, if everything goes according to plan, a new Krazy Ken's Tech Talk episode about the new version of Windows 10 will be out, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And then the Thursday after that, we'll be back with more Computer Clan Live. I'll be here with Bradley Olson, the director of the Final Cut Pro 10 documentary, Off the Tracks. If you thought there couldn't be a lot of drama behind a software release, you were wrong, because it was a release from Apple, and there's tons of drama there, enough to make a documentary. So he's going to be on the show on Thursday. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday, so stay tuned for that. Lots of good stuff coming up. Follow us on Twitter. You'll get all the updates from there. Subscribe, hit the bell so you get the notifications. And if you want more bonus goodies from us, go ahead and click the join button below so you can get access to all that exclusive content. Thank you guys for coming out tonight. And again, thank you, Jack, for being here as well. His links for his video game are in the description. There's a demo available you can play right now on Game Jolt. And the final version is coming to Steam on Windows, maybe other platforms in the future, later this month. So thank you, Jack. Go ahead and check out his game. Play the demo. Buy it when it comes out. Support indie game development because it's freaking awesome. All right, guys. So, fun night tonight. Thanks for sticking with me. Catch the crazy and pass it on.